your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Citi 97.3. More variety.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
He was a prophet of old. When he heard of the broken walls of Jerusalem, Bible says he fasted and he prayed to the God of heaven. He fasted, prayed, he travailed to the God of heaven. Then it pleased the king that the walls of Jerusalem should be built to the glory of our Lord. Then it pleased the king, yeah,
This is the
that the
Citi
walls of
Breakfast Show.
Jerusalem
The city's biggest
should be
conversation.
built to the glory of our Lord. Then came Sanballat, then came Tobiah, who just hated the work of the Lord. But brethren, my prayer is none of us here present will be Sanballats in the house of the Lord. But Nehemiah stood up, yeah, in the power, in the anointing of the Holy Ghost. Nehemiah stood up, yeah, in the power, in the anointing of the Holy Ghost, saying, the God of heaven, he will prosper you and I. So arise, 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 and let us build. The God of heaven, he will prosper you and I. So arise, 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 and let us build. Adishime, Joe, yeah, yeah, Joe, yeah, yeah. Echumani miri, waso, enanime, Joe.
What a song, what a clarion call, what a wake-up call to the nation. This is Nana and Dan.
He was a prophet He was a prophet of old.
And inspired by this song, I'll give you a short opening script. So Nehemiah chapter 4 verse 6, I love it. It says, so we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half of its height, for the people had a mind to work.
And he prayed to the God.
Let me read that again. Nehemiah chapter 4 verse 6 says, so we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together up to half of its height,
To the God.
for the people had a mind to work. Oh, I love it. The people.
Please the king.
We the people. If you go to the Constitution of Ghana, the preamble is we the people.
To the
It's not the government. It's not the politics. It's we the people.
and it pleased the
We empower the politicians. We make all these political parties make all the noise. It is we the people.
glory of high.
And it says we built the wall,
Then came
and the entire wall was joined together up to half of its height, which means they could measure the progress of their work.
the work of
But the reason for their success was that the people had a mind. Now, people is plural, mind is singular. So what is the mind of the Ghanaian people?
the house of.
Do we have a mind to work?
But now
What kind of mind do we have? Because a nation is not built just by one or two people doing great things. It's built by many people doing many important things all the time. It's a continuous effort in nation building. The building metaphor is very important for a country, because you can't build alone.
in the
That's the thing about building. Now, you probably could, but it could take you much longer. Imagine wanting to build your house alone. You mix the mortar,
die.
you use the spirit level, you dig the holes. It will take you an eternity to build alone. So the thing about building is that it's a collective effort. So even though we are many, it's one mind. Even though we are many people, many interests, many ethnic groups, many regions, many professions, many different age groups, we still have the need to have one mind. The mind to work. The mind to work. Because it takes effort to move things along. Inertia will resist you. Gravity will pull you down. So you need the effort of work. Scripture says, for in all labor there is profit. So whatever you're doing this morning, you're farming, you're driving people to work, you're fixing something that's broken, you're teaching kids, you're going to the hospital to look after people, you are part of the nation building effort. You have a legitimate right to be heard and to be seen, which is why we give you this platform called the Citi Breakfast Show. You can speak to power. You can let people hear your voice. Your contribution is not just your taxes. Your opinion also matters. So let's have a mind to work, and let's have the mind that tells us we are part of the Ghana project. Beautiful song from Nana and Dan, bringing us to 6:30 Citi Breakfast Show. Wednesday mornings, the 12th of February. I will arise and build. All right. Caleb Kuda is trotting. He's trotting on the background. He's waiting to join the melee. Yes, indeed. And so we're starting off with the newspaper review segment brought to you by Piva Beverages. Discover the refreshing taste of Piva. The classic cola, the Piva orange, the cocktail, the grapefruit, and the tangy fruit drink. All available at our main depots. Call us on 0550032231. If your retailer hasn't got Piva, they are not serious. So that's the main thing. If they don't have Piva, they are not serious. And of course, we're sponsored by Total Energies. We have introduced the incredible Excellium, a 3-in-1 formula, an additive enriched fuel with a powerful 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption thanks to the cumulative effect of its anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives. Excellium new formula lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption and reduces CO2 emissions. The walls of Ghana have to be built through the collective effort of inspired citizens. This is our charge. This is our call. Ghana must be built. And I have something that I like. It says, no nation has ever been built by absentee citizens. So you need to be present. You need to be present. Now, those of you who are listening from outside, send money. Send money. Send resources. Send what do you call it?
Remittances.
Yes, not only that. Send equipment for the hospitals.
Yeah.
Come together.
Yes.
You know, like you can say, citizens of Tokorano in North America, come together and refurbish the Tokorano. The Tokorano, yes, or the LA's primary school. Yeah.
That's the Amontin constituency.
I'm telling you, because you can come together, form a WhatsApp group. Don't just be discussing unnecessary politics.
Yes.
Decide that, okay, the children are not passing BEC.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Extra
we are
classes.
sending volunteers, extra classes. We are going to build a classroom block. You get it? That's what nation building is. Not everyday politics. Hey, what has they done? Who has done this? Who is winning election? Hey, Ghana. Let's build with concrete efforts of development. Pick an area, pick a sector, education, health, youth development, and tell yourself, even agriculture, invest in farming, invest that land that your grandfather left that is just wasting away. You know, come together, call the family head. Let's start some project. You know, that's what nation building is. So please, Nana and Dana are talking to us. Let's do the work. It's very important. We'll start with the headlines shortly. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 05500-32231. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
Oh, jump on now.
Go, go. Ugomi, at what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my go be fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go, the go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Listen as your day unfolds. Challenge what the future holds. Try and keep your head up to the sky. Lovers, they may cause you tears. Go ahead, release your fears. Stand up and be counted. Don't be ashamed to cry. You gotta be bad. You gotta be bold. You gotta be wiser. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. Herald what your mother said, read the books your father read, trying to solve the puzzles in your own sweet time. Some may have more cash than you, others take a different view. You gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be stronger. You gotta be cool, you gotta be calm, you gotta stay together. All I know, love will save the day. Time asks no questions, it goes on without you, leaving you behind if you can stand the pace. The world keeps on spinning, can't stop it if you try to. The best part is danger staring you in the face. Whoa.
6:37. So let's hear from you. WhatsApp 054-998-6996. Our WhatsApp number. Kalakuda's joining me with the news of headlines. Good morning, Colib.
Good morning, Bernard.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Lovely batik.
Thank you so very much. And same right back to you. All right, so what are the papers saying this morning?
Herald newspaper this morning says special prosecutor behind embarrassing raid on Ken Ofori-Atta's residence despite notice of medical trip to the U.S. Seydou Agongo breaks silence on Heritage Bank collapse and BOG's Kokobo trial. Suspect's ex-BOG governor was forced to nail him. Okay. Questionable dealings and new minerals fund managers raise concerns. 1.5 billion Ghana cedi moved around banks. $10 million dished out to another strange company. Apanyo marking cries over 412 cholera cases in a Hutu Parliament summons health minister.
So it seems like a lot of headlines on one newspaper.
Plenty.
So you probably need to take your time to go through those.
Plenty.
All right. What are the Ghanaian Times? What is it saying?
So Ghanaian Times says regions elect reps to Council of State as some centers record chaotic scenes, and then President inaugurates task force to release 120-day promise, and Ghana's corruption perception index drops from 43 to 42 in 2024.
Moving on to the publisher.
ICOMS makes trade facilitation seamless. This is the GRA. Uniformed men invade Kent's house as persecution of Akufo-Addo's men begin. BCM accuses businesswoman of property seizure. Health minister to brief MPs on cholera outbreak, and Mahama terminates appointments after December 7.
The Accra Times.
African speakers taken to task, address transnational challenges, grabbing of state properties, looters will be punished, Mahama vows after receiving oral report. And then you have La MP calling for more girls in STEM, Zaneto bemoans cybercrime in Ghana, and illegal lottery operations. Ewuku calls for stricter measures, proposes amendment to the NLA Act.
Let me bring you headlines from the news center. Armed soldiers, police raid Ofori-Atta's house. Though government knew he is abroad on medical treatment. This is on page 2. I think it's very similar to a story on a different headline. ICOMS made trade facilitation seamless. This is also on the news center's front page. If you go to the same paper, Ghana-China trade hit $11.84 billion in 2024. Meanwhile, Heritage Man, Citi FM Channel 1 pay critical on Gamanche, and GPHA pledges cooperation with any probe into corruption allegations.
The Informer oral report, recover loot with interest. This is Domelevo's proposal. And win chiefs on warpath, unleash local gods on MP over Galamsey. Forged last will and testament of the late Alhaji Salih Abdullahi. AG takes over case. Ghana leads Africa with Baumia's Momo initiative. Healthcare providers alarmed over surge in mental cases. Bernard.
All right. What about the custodian? The African headlines.
So custodian says Akufo-Addo Bawumia paid tribute to Sam Njuma. The late Dr. Sam Njuma is the founding president of Namibia. Minority flays Mahama over scandalous withdrawals of criminal cases. Confirmed. Oral committee based to $21 billion loot on rumors. Government to license Okada riders. And these are the big stories. That's
all right, let me take you online. CitiNewsroom.com. Council of State must do more, not just advise the president. Alhaji Mumuni is speaking. Also, Julius Bekbenya to replace David Asamoah as acting ECGD. Meanwhile, a FIA MP is accusing the majority caucus of not committed to promoting government business in parliament. Kwachi Ofosu is justifying revocation of last-minute public service appointments. Meanwhile, Seydou Agongo says, I did no wrong in fertilizer procurement for cocoa board. And then we're told Ghana must rethink foreign aid dependence, Professor assuming on USAID withdrawal. Meanwhile, new appointments as well. Kwesi Afrebaini has been appointed Senate Director General. And then I do not seek re-election as youth organizer. This is Opariado speaking. If you go to Channel 1, there's a lot on Seydou Agongo's interview. Why charge me twice? Seydou Agongo on Kokobot trial. He also says Godfrey Dame was directed to jail us in that no holds barred interview with Umaru Sanda on Face to Face. Other stories, Ofreate's residence raided. This story is everywhere.
Yeah.
And then Council of State elections winners announced so far. We'll give you the highlights, especially of a 32-year-old man who's won the seat for the Western region. 32-year-old Maxwell Boachi is now the rep from the Western region. Meanwhile, Ghana drops in corruption perception index. GII calls for urgent reforms. And then traditional leader accused of killing military officer at Kasoa denied bail. So watch that story. My Joy Online is talking about this 32-year-old. He says it's about experience, not age, says Council of State nominee Gabriel Tanko.
Okay.
And then, as we have been told, Mahama directs finance minister to bridge $156 million USAID financing gap. More females living with HIV and AIDS in Bono region. This is the HIV coordinator saying this. And then Parliament needs divine intervention to deal with disorder among MPs. Alban Bagbin. Meanwhile, we're told that 2024 ECG audit reveals 5.3 billion CD in underdeclared revenue. ECG matter. A lot of issues. Let's get into the details.
Bernard, let me start with the ECG one actually.
Right.
So 2024 ECG audit reviews 5.3 billion Ghana cedi in underdeclared revenue. A comprehensive 2024 audit of ECG conducted by PricewaterhouseCoopers PwC has uncovered a 5.3 billion revenue discrepancy. According to PwC report, ECG continued to underdeclare revenues to the regulator. In 2024, it underdeclared revenues by 5.3 billion Ghana cedis. Its accounts showed it collected 15.8 billion cedis, but it told the regulator it collected 10.4 billion. Even though ECG significantly underdeclared revenues, it still didn't pay value chain players properly based on what it declared and the cash waterfall mechanism, the report noted. It added that out of the 10.4 billion Ghana cedi declared, it paid 6.5 billion cedis, leaving a variance of 3.9 billion cedis. Now, the report further reviews that a vendor contracted by ECG to collect revenues on its behalf received a staggering 402 million Ghana cedis in commissions, nearly as much as the Volta River Authority, which was paid 412 million Ghana cedis, and significantly more than Bui Authority or Bui Power, which received 323 million. Notably, this vendor was paid before the entities responsible for power generation. Now, according to the report, despite the IMF's conditions mandating a single collection account, ECG maintained 99 bank accounts across 19 banks in 2024.
Meanwhile, we are told that Julius Pekpenya, an engineer, has been nominated to act as ECG MD. So, City News has gathered from reliable sources that engineer Julius Pekpenya, barring any last-minute changes, will be appointed as acting MD of ECG. He served as Director of Engineering at ECG before transitioning to the Millennium Development Authority. Now, if confirmed, he faces significant challenge in revitalizing the company whose financials we just read. And we're told that since September last year, David Asamoah has been serving as acting MD following the resignation of Samoa Dubik Mahama. Now, before assuming this role, Mr. Asamoah was Deputy MD in charge of commercial services. So keep an eye on this story. Now, before you come to the Kenufriata House raid story, since we are on the issue of appointments, let me just give you two more. Kwesi Afrebani has been appointed SNIT DG.
Okay.
So President Mahama has appointed Kwesi Afrebani as new DG, with Adam Sule taking over as Deputy DG in charge of operations and benefits. Yesterday, the former leadership led by Kofi Bosompimo Safomafo were asked to leave. Now, so Kwame Edu Dako, Juliana Kpedekpo and Nana Sewa Bonsu were all asked to leave, basically following the removal of Dr. John Oforitin-Koran in 2024 April. Of course, we are now told that there isn't a lot said about this new person, except his name. All right, so we'll probably have to find out more. But there's one here that quite a number of us know. President has also named Michael Harry Yamson as administrator of the DACF.
Yeah,
so he is to bring strategic leadership and financial oversight to the fund, ensuring effective resource allocation and management to support local governance and development initiatives across the country. Now, he's a management consultant, business strategist with 3 decades in various fields. We've interviewed him a few times on this show. He was a managing partner at Ismail Yamson and Associates, son of Ismail Yamson.
Right.
And then he's also done a couple of things, worked at Unilever in the past, and then worked in the FMCG market. Now let's come to this raid story that the Herald is pointing fingers at the special prosecutor.
It says the Herald's investigations into the raid on the home of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta have revealed that the operation was conducted by the Office of the Special Prosecutor led by William Kisi Ejabing. Family sources disclosed that the OSP had earlier written to Mr. Ofori-Atta summoning him to appear before them on Monday, February 10 for an ongoing investigation. However, lawyers from Minka Premo & Co., a prominent Accra-based law firm representing the former minister, responded that Mr. Ofori-Atta was out of town on a medical trip to the U.S. Now, led by the respected Justice Kusi Minka Premo, his legal team assured the OSP of their client's willingness to cooperate with investigators upon return. Now, the hospital later furnished the OSP with details of his medical appointment. Despite this, the former minister's family was shocked when a team comprising 4 soldiers, 4 police officers, and several plainclothes individuals identifying themselves as OSP operatives stormed his residence and conducted a search. Eyewitnesses report that the team entered the premises, forcefully pushing aside the private security guards at the house. Now, a housemaid named Agi was also reportedly shoved aside as the team searched various parts of the house, including Mr. Ofori-Atta's bedroom.
So what were they looking for?
They left without carrying any documents or valuables, leading to speculation that the operatives suspected the ex-minister was hiding something. Meanwhile, the family sources suspect that Mr. Ejabing is on a vendetta against Mr. Ofori-Atta, with whom he had some disagreements over some vehicle procurements, including bulletproof cars. Bernard.
Well, we'll keep an eye on this story. It's a developing one. Now, still on issues around governance, Kwachu Fosu justifies revocation of last-minute public service appointments. This story is on citynewsroom.com. It says the Minister of State for Government Communications has accused the previous Akufo-Addo administration of bypassing due process in making last-minute public service appointments. According to him, a thorough review of the appointment process revealed multiple irregularities, with many of those appointed in the final days of the administration failing to submit formal application letters to the institutions where they were employed. He further alleged that some individuals were recruited without undergoing interviews to assess their suitability, while others did not complete the required medical exam. Now, he was speaking on Eyewitness News yesterday in giving some more details on why Chief of Staff Julius Debra had revoked all public service appointments and recruitments made after December 7. Now, a confidential letter seen by City News has been circulated to all heads of government institutions, instructing them to comply with the directive. So here's a quote. Some government agencies, ministries and departments were previously employing people in the dying minutes of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. We expressed concern about this because we knew it was going to have an impact on our fiscal position, especially at a time where the country was struggling. And so he's basically justifying the decision by the Chief of Staff to revoke these appointments. Coming back to you.
So my age mate is the Western Regional Council of State.
Is that your age?
Representative, yes. So Maxwell Boache is a gold dealer, and he has been elected as the Western Region's representative to the Council of State after securing 17 out of 28 votes in a keenly contested election. Now 9 candidates vie for the prestigious advisory position, but Mr. Boache emerged victorious, defeating strong contenders, including a candidate reportedly backed by the NDC. So Boache's victory means he will serve as the Western Region's voice on the Council of State, an important constitutional body that advises the president on national issues. His role will include offering counsel on governance, policy direction, and regional development matters. He's probably the youngest to serve on the Council of State,
and
32.
It is an interesting development. Now we have the full list of the elected here on citynewsroom.com. So we have a number of people here. For example, we have the 32-year-old gold dealer who is representing the Western region, and then we have a former he's a former many things actually. So former running mate to Professor Mills, and former minister for various positions. He's representing the Northern region. Upper East is represented by P. Adiale Ditundini Ayagitam III.
Thank you.
And we also have the Upper West represented by Michael Kwame Mumuni, Savannah by Tingawura Abdul Seidu Samson, Oti by Richard Kings Atikbu, Volta by Gabriel Kwame Gatanko, Eastern by Evelyn Krang, Western by the gentleman you mentioned,
Yeah.
Greater Accra by Nenedrolo Boso Adamate. So a lot of these people happen to be traditional leaders of some kind.
Yeah.
Bono is Dr. Kusi Boachi Yadom. The Northeast has no winner declared yet. Bono East is Piman Pim Yao Cabrese the Fifth, also a traditional leader. We are waiting for the results for Ashanti, Ahafo
Yes.
Central and Western. In Central,
Yes.
Western North is Michael Edu, who won 18 out of the 18 votes. The Ashanti vote
In
was
Ashanti,
marred by.
and the police are hunting for the thugs who disrupted the Council of State election there. And the story says the Ghana Police Service has launched a manhunt for thugs who stormed the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, disrupting the Council of State's regional elections in Kumasi on Tuesday. Eyewitnesses reported that the attackers forcefully entered the venue, overturned tables, destroyed ballot boxes, and scattered voting materials, forcing Electoral Commission officials to suspend the process. The chaos is believed to have been sparked by the unexpected defeat of National Democratic Congress candidate Yao Owusu Obimpe, who was widely tipped to win. Now, aggrieved supporters allegedly instigated the violence, demanding a review of the results. In a
Why
statement,
won't the police arrest these people? And why
they are
won't
now
the
on a
Rex-
manhunt?
Why? We saw some of the scenes on videos.
Yeah.
These people need to be arrested. It's becoming too much. You know, the Ashanti Regional Minister must be up and doing. He's now been appointed.
Yep.
He's in charge of the RECSEC. He
Yep.
must work with the police to arrest these miscreants.
Quick.
And the NDC must disown these people.
Quickly.
All right? If you don't disown them, it means you support what they are doing.
That's true.
How can you go and disrupt an election in the name of our candidate did not win? In 2025.
Improper.
2-3 weeks ago or a month ago, we said there was no real government because it was a transition. Now there's a full government in place. This
Yeah.
nonsense has to stop. Now, a couple of stories. Seydou Agongo is unhappy. He's alleging that Godfrey Dame, the immediate past Attorney General, was directed to jail him. And then he also said he was charged twice. So there's a lot of things he
So
said
much.
in that interview with Sanda Umaru on Face to Face. He claimed that the former AG, despite lacking sufficient evidence, was pressured by state authorities to prosecute him. He asserted that his trial was politically motivated rather than based on concrete evidence. Why destroy me without having the full facts of the case? When it comes to our system, he was supposed to be a Minister of Justice. It means that you need to give us fairness. But I think Dame was directed to nail us. This is what I think. He went on to say a few other things. You can watch the full interview on YouTube, on Channel 1's YouTube page. Now, I want to come back to you before I get into some social stories on
Yes.
health and education.
So the speaker is speaking here. He says some voice inside the parliament.
What did he say? Where is he talking?
There may be something inside parliament
Why is he
that
talking?
has to be exorcised. Our Speaker of Parliament, Albert Bagbin, has emphasized the need for special prayer session to be held inside the parliamentary chamber, suggesting that an unseen force may be influencing the characteristics.
This is a serious story. Stop
of the
joking.
MPs.
So why? Where was he talking?
No, so in a video shared by Joy News on X on Tuesday, February 11, 2025, Bagbin expressed concern.
Okay, this
over
was at the
stark
prayer
contrast.
breakfast in Fire Stadium on Point Blank. We played the full video.
Yeah.
To be fair, he actually was talking about leadership and
And
the
a
need
lot
to set
more.
examples.
Yeah.
He says that a lot of what we see today is what the youth of
The
yesterday did.
generations, yes.
So I thought that was a very interesting speech.
Yeah.
And then he called on MPs to be minded
Yes.
that they are examples for the youth
True.
in the way they behave. Then he also said that Parliament needs to be divine intervention
Exercise.
to deal with disorder. So this is the problem with headlines. So he said a lot more
Yeah,
than
but
the
this
headlines
one
seem
is,
to suggest. Now, more females are living with HIV and AIDS in the Bono region, according to the HIV coordinator. This is a GNA story. It says the female population of persons living with HIV/AIDS in the Bono region outnumbers the male. Statistics from the Ghana Health Service have indicated. Now, for September last year, out of a total of 11,401 people living with the disease in the region, an inordinately high percentage of 8,481.
8,000.
That's close to 80% were women, and 2,727 were males. Mr. Emmanuel Obinhine, the Bono Regional HIV Coordinator of the Ghana Service, who disclosed this, added, however, that all people living with HIV/AIDS were on treatment. All right, now, why is this important? Some of the treatments for HIV/AIDS also depend on USAID support.
Yeah,
The
just
president
one
of Ghana has directed his finance minister
Yeah.
to look for the $156 million that will be the finance gap occasioned by President Trump's decision to freeze some USAID expenditures.
Yeah.
And the president, in a statement or a letter or direction to his Minister of Finance, asked him to, as a matter of urgency, look for the 156 million to bridge the financing gap. Indeed, the story is here. It just says, President has asked the Finance Minister, Atu Forson, to immediately find solutions to the gaps in the country's health sector funding following the suspension of USAID assistance. In a letter addressed to the minister, the president called for urgent action as the situation is likely to affect Ghana's efforts in addressing issues as maternal health, HIV/AIDS, family planning, and child health. And the question is, why have we been depending on USAID for these very important things? So this is a wake-up call. Let's move forward.
Ghana's corruption perception index drops from 43 to 42 in 2024. Abigail Ano is writing for Ghanaian Times that Ghana's performance on the global corruption perception index has further dropped from 43 to 42 in the 2024 rankings released by Transparency International. CPI scores and ranks countries by their perceived levels of public sector corruption as assessed by experts on a scale of 0 to 100. Ghana has scored 42 out of a clean score of 100 in the CPI 2024 ranking, 80th out of 180 countries and territories assessed in this year's report released by Transparency International. Mary Ada is here.
Okay.
She bemoans the development.
Thank you very much, Caleb. That's all we have time for the newspaper review. Coming up next is the Citi Business News. Please stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
It's a minute and a few seconds to 7. Citi Business News with Nashika Caesar, next brought to us by MTN. Now, the MTN Ghana Foundation is organizing its annual blood donation exercise on Friday, February 14 to support the National Blood Service. Some of our venues include the MTN House in Accra, Presec Legon, Accra Academy, Accra High School, Degano SHS, and Teshin Technical School. I'm not sure if it's Odogono or Degano. This is from 8 a.m. all through to 4 p.m. This annual exercise provides MTN a chance to donate blood to assist in emergency health care. So MTN staff, blood donors, corporate bodies, and the public are encouraged to donate blood at these venues on Valentine's Day. The news also brought to us by EcoBank, and let's just go through this. Bank account details from EcoBank can only be updated at an EcoBank branch. Why? Because there's a lot of fraud happening in the name of banking. EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at an app store or the Play Store. Linking your Ghana card to the EcoBank card or EcoBank account can happen at any EcoBank branch or online at ecobank.com. So report any suspicious SMS, emails, or phone calls to the EcoBank contact center and delete such messages at once. When in doubt or feeling insecure, call EcoBank contact center on 0800 003 225.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
All right, so Nashika Caesar is joining us with the Citi Business News. Good morning, Na.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Coming up, investors of Ghana Old Gold Coin record a rise in its value as gold prices fluctuate globally. Also coming up, Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies dismiss claims that gold for oil policy significantly contributed to reduction in fuel prices. And later, President John Mahama appoints Kwesi Afrebaini as the new Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT. The details of our stories now. The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, has dismissed claims that a gold for oil policy, G4O policy, significantly contributed to the reduction in fuel prices in Ghana. Instead, the Chamber attributes the decline to global market dynamics, which naturally adjusts after major disruptions. More in the following report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakiti.
Ghana introduced the gold for oil policy in December 2022, with its first consignment arriving in January 2023. The initiative aimed to stabilize fuel prices by using gold to purchase petroleum products. However, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies asserts that the program accounted for just 10% of the nation's monthly fuel consumption at its inception and only covered about 30% at its peak. Despite claims that the gold for oil policy led to lower ex-pump prices, Opaque maintains that fuel prices already declined before the first shipment arrived. Ex-pump prices in Ghana followed the same trend, with petrol and diesel decreasing from 16 cedis 57 pesos and 23 cedis per litre in November 2022 to 11 cedis 90 pesos and 11 cedis 96 pesos per litre by June 2023. Opaque insists that the pattern suggests international market conditions rather than the gold for oil policy were the primary drivers of the price reductions. The chamber also disputes assertions that the gold for oil policy played a significant role in reducing inflation from 54% in 2022 to 23% in 2025. Opaque says given that the program had limited effect on fuel prices and its import volumes declined over time, attributing a 50% drop in inflation to the gold for oil policy is seen as misleading.
That report was filed by Daniel Sakiti. Now, Ghanaians who invested in the Ghana Gold coin at its launch on November 26, 2024, have seen a rise in its value as gold prices fluctuate globally. Investors could be cashing out not less than 1,000 cedis profit. We have more in this report.
A price comparison between November 26 and February 11 shows an appreciation in the coin's cedi value, influenced by global gold prices and exchange rate movements. Currently, the 1 ounce coin is priced at a little over 46,000 cedis, up from the 25,000 cedis, while the half ounce and quarter ounce coins have risen to 23,700 cedis and 12,300 cedis respectively, from their initial prices of 22,400 cedis and 11,100 cedis. Investors who bought the gold coin at the launch have gained over 1,300 cedis per ounce. On November 24, 2024, the London Bullion Market Association PM gold price stood a little over $2,600 with a cedi dollar exchange rate at 15 cedis 8 pesos. By February 11, 2025, gold has surged to $2,874, while the cedi dollar rate adjusted to 15 cedis 45 pesos. The increase in gold prices has helped offset exchange rate fluctuations, making the gold coin an attractive option for investors looking to hedge against currency depreciation and tap into Ghana's rich gold reserves.
You heard the City Business News' Emmanuel Opon with that report. Moving on, Ghanaian businessman and majority shareholder of the defunct Heritage Bank, Seydou Agongo, has indicated that the Bank of Ghana had no legitimate grounds for revoking the bank's license. During the 2019 financial sector cleanup, the central bank cited concerns over the source of Heritage Bank's capital and governance issues as reasons for the revocation. Speaking on Face-to-Face on Channel 1 TV with Umaru Sanda, Mr. Agongo maintained that he would wait to see if the system would eventually restore the bank.
Not alone, but at least, like, we know each other. I don't know whether you're getting. We know each other. And if you know me very well, hardly does somebody come to me and request for something I'll decline. Because I ask myself, out of 31 million Ghanaians, it's me you've come to. Why would I decline you?
So the BOG issued a statement explaining why all the banks were collapsed. You're saying that yours was not genuine?
No, mine was not genuine.
But as we speak, that bank remains collapsed. What's your plan? Would you apply for it to be revived?
No, we work with the system to see how best they can.
Whether they can get the license back?
Yes.
What about the assets? Did they give some back to you?
No, nothing.
So you lost everything?
I lost everything.
How much capital was it that you put in there?
I used $60 million to open Heritage Bank.
So you've lost $60 million?
Yes, I used $60 million to open Heritage Bank.
Mr. Seydou Agongo also expressed concerns over a hostile business climate, citing the challenges he faced with state prosecutors following a transaction with Ghana Cocoa Board, which case the current Attorney General has withdrawn.
Some of these issues have to look at critically because Ghana as a country, we are just 31 million people. We cannot survive without investors. Investors are only guaranteed with the law. I'll convince an investor to come. but the investor will look at the laws. What sort of laws protect my investment? Protect me as a business person? If such laws are not looked at, I don't think anybody will be interested in investing in Ghana. Because, when it comes to criminal cases, I think the demeanor of the witnesses is also part of the case in determining whether he's guilty or is not guilty. So if the case goes to another judge, the judge has to have an entirety, because you are looking at my freedom. You are looking at me committing a crime and sentence me, which makes me become an ex-convict. So why destroy me?
That was Seydou Agungo, who is a Ghanaian businessman and a majority shareholder of the defunct Heritage Bank. Moving on, President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Kwesi Afre-Baini as the new Director General of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, with Adam Sule taking over as Deputy Director General in charge of Operations and Benefits. These appointments follow the revocation of Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Mafo's position as the Director General of SNIT. Citi Business News understands that the contract of his 3 deputies have also been terminated. Still an appointment, energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Sulemana has been appointed as the new managing director of the Tema Oil Refinery. Dr. Sulemana officially took on his new role on Monday, February 10, 2025, following a warm welcome by the refinery management. Meanwhile, engineer Julius Pekpena has been appointed acting managing director of the Electricity Company of Ghana. Prior to his appointment, Engineer Pekpena was the former director of engineering at the ECG before moving to the Millennium Development Authority. To some other stories now, Grace Mobility Ghana is urging the government to waive taxes and duties on imported electric vehicles to make them more affordable for Ghanaians. The appeal comes as the company officially opens its showroom in Accra, introducing cutting-edge EVs designed to transform transportation in the Ghanaian market. These vehicles aim to address rise in fuel costs, environmental concerns, and public health challenges. Speaking on the development, the Chief Executive Officer of Grace Mobility Ghana, Sabhi Akkad, stressed the need for policies that support the adoption of sustainable transportation solutions.
The cost to cover the same number of kilometers is about 50% cheaper than fueling your car with petrol or diesel. However, to make this vision a reality, we need the support of the President and his government. We urge the government to assist in making electric vehicles more accessible by introducing lower interest rates, especially for electric vehicles, providing tax and duty exemptions to reduce their costs and make them affordable to the public. Unfortunately, since we started with the brake and cleared the car, a big part of the pricing is related to the taxes and the VAT, a very, very, very big part. While we were working on having the car affordable with the manufacturers, we were hit with a very high duty here called luxury duty. Because it's a luxury item, which is not these days, as we all know. In addition, we call on the government and stakeholders to collaborate with us, transforming Ghana in a hub for e-mobility. Part of our plan includes expanding the electric vehicle charging network.
Sabhi Akkad is the Chief Executive Officer of Grace Mobility Ghana. Now let's have a quick market check. On the currency board across some forex bureaus, the dollar is being sold at 15 cedis 7 pesewas. The British pound is going for 19 cedis 2 pesewas, and the euro at 16 cedis 1 pesewas. Remember that these are the rates being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. And that's all for the breakfast edition of the Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Coil, and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy, chop money. Cratchet. Mommy, my rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town. More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got. Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more. Dial star 770 hash. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
it's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
Shout! I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
I know, you do me bad, then you know what, miss you for my pillow, tears we soak my pillow.
Jumping into kickoff, 13 after 7. From planning your date nights to making your kids happy with the latest toy and ice cream, these seemingly little things make all the difference in creating lasting memories. Good times start at Shell, where you can fill up on more than just fuel. Fill up on love, laughter, sumptuous bites, and treats from our partner vendors. Juicy chicken, filling burgers, snacks, a space to just unwind. You'll find it all at Shell. While you're enjoying yourself with your family and friends, your car can also get the love it deserves at Shell Service Station and Wash Bay. It's one roof for everything. Visit Shell today and go well. Shell is happy and is associated with Kickoff as a Zonda Ghana Limited. Gabby Affair is here with Kickoff.
Oh, it's very dangerous. Vinicius Jr. is beyond Edison, and Bellingham has beaten City with the last attack of the match. And City now must go to the Bernabeu and try and beat Real Madrid.
Well, Jude Bellingham with the winner in stoppage time as Madrid twice came from behind to inflict more misery on Manchester City with a 3-2 Champions League playoff. First leg win at the Etihad last night. There's another 90 minutes to play at the Santiago Bernabeu, but of course, we've got reactions coming up. Plus, look ahead to tonight's games. Also, there's more to get into from the local scene. I am Gabby of Many thanks to Zonda GH and Shell V Power. Shell, go well. Alright, many thanks for joining me. Now let's start off with this. The marketing director for the Ghana Football Association, Jamil Marabi, has acknowledged that negative incidents surrounding the Ghana Premier League have made securing sponsorship challenging. Now the league currently lacks a headline sponsor and has been put on hold following the tragic incident in Nswatwe where fun was fatally stopped during a Week 19 match between Nswatwe and Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
So it does. The negativity does affect us trying to get partners and sponsors for the league, 100%. So we also know when to go and when to approach and when not to approach. So at the moment, we're not approaching any new partners. Those partners that we were talking to support the Premier League, we're still in discussion with them. You know, and most of them understand, and you also have to let them understand that the game is emotional. That's why it's passionate, right? People love it so much. Hence, what has happened is all part of the passion, right? So if they can't leave us in the dirt or in the dry, I mean, it doesn't show love, it doesn't show patriotism. So if there's an incident or things are not looking well, do you leave us alone? Then who's going to fix the problem, right? Rather, the company, we explain to the company that that's why we need you to show the whole world and Ghanaians that, listen, even when the thing was having problems, we stepped in to help and to bring it out of its problems. So that's how we sell it. So yes, it's difficult, but there's still a potential and possibility for us to get partner to support our league. Again, for them to show that, yes.
All right, speaking of the lack of sponsorship for the local league and also the TV rights matter, reacting to that is former Heart of Oak captain Amankwa Mreku. He's showing his full support behind the calls from Kotoko and Heart of Oak for a larger share of the TV rights revenue in the GPL. Heart and Kotoko signed a joint statement recently demanding reforms, including an increase in their share of television broadcast rights, where he believes that the two clubs are the biggest forces in Ghanaian football and deserve a bigger share.
In every country, you have two teams as rivalry teams that normally make the league very interesting. And I would say that for Kotoko and Heart of Oak to demand that right, yes, they deserve it. That's what I'm saying. Because why is only Kotoko and Heart matches are they shown, more often on the television and live? Why? Because of their pedigree, because of what they're capable of doing. And so for me, yes, that is all. And therefore, if they are demanding that right, yes, it should be given.
All right, so that's a former Heart of Oak player, Amankwa Mreku, speaking there. Let's stay on the matter. And one of the reforms Heart and Kotoko have tabled to the GFA, both clubs are demanding a guaranteed representation on the executive council seat. Now, reacting to that is former, he's not former, he's currently serving on the ESCO seat, Nano Dro Safo, and this is what he had to say.
The protocol they sent to the FA, most of them are in the is there already. Just that we've not done very well enforcement, which we have decided to take note and then work on it again. So those that are not there, we'll look at it, and some of them comes along with financial implications, and so we'll take steps to educate the clubs and see how best we can do it. And I believe Kotoko themselves knows that the petitions have to be worked on. Some are periodical, some are instant. So when we are on parts, when we are doing it and they are happy and we've not completed, they know we will do it. We are in the motion. So it's a process.
All right, so that's Executive Council member of the Ghana Football Association, Nana Odro Safo, speaking there. Well, some of the fallout from that event that the GFA officials meeting up with reps of Kumasi Asante Kotoko yesterday in the aftermath of Nanaya Frimpon's demise in Nsawashe. Well, Kotoko's interim management committee chairman Nana Apinkra, he's issued a strong warning to the GFA stating that the club will not resume football activities unless their proposals are fully addressed. The second one is coming from the club owner, 2432 the second, and he's decided to adopt the late Polish children, also securing their education through an educational fund. So that's big stuff for the family of the late Poli. Now, away from that to the MTN FA Cup run of 16 fixtures, the draw was done yesterday. Brecum Chelsea will take on Northern City. Corella United up against Young Apostles. Techima Liberty Youth will play Bichim United. Asante Kotoko up against Sekendi 11 Wise. Mediama Sporting Club will play Park Academy. Golden Kicks up against Accra Heart of Oak. True Democracy, after beating Dream Steps in their previous game, will take on FC Nanya, their former champions of the MTN FA Cup. And then Atram Divisa will take on BBN Gold Stars in the round of 16 of the MTN FA Cup. Away from the local scene, let's get to Europe, and starting off at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City are fighting for Champions League survival and a place in the last 16 after Jude Bellingham's injury time. Winner settled a tense playoff first leg in Madrid's favour. Now City face a mammoth task to take this stuttering Champions League campaign beyond the playoff stage. Yes, we'll take a listen to Manchester City's John Stones.
Hard to believe you lost that game.
Yeah, again, a few games after the Arsenal one. Don't know how to put it into words straight away. I think it's so raw and frustrating for everyone. I think how we were right in the game till so late on in the game, and then two situations that happened, and we end up conceding. It's frustrating as a defender to come away with that result. Yeah, angry and frustrated is what I can say.
All right, very frustrated. That's Manchester City's John Stones. But one other player who's not frustrated is Madrid's Thibaut Courtois.
Another classic game between Real Madrid and Manchester City. How do you rate this? This is the 9th meeting between the two clubs in 4 years.
No, it's always hard games against them, always a lot of goals. Two teams I really wanted, and it was the same today. I felt today we were better than them. I felt we deserved to win. But yeah, sometimes the goal didn't want to enter in the first half. They came up with a nice goal of them, but maybe we didn't defend that action as well. But we felt we were doing well. We had good possession when we dared to play. We created a lot of chances, and I felt that we could win. And when we came 1-1, I felt okay. It was a moment to go over them, but then they got that penalty, and you think maybe a bit in the second leg, and you're not. I don't say we're happy with 2-1, but you don't also want to concede a third goal. But then we got that 2-2, and we just believed to score another one.
All right, so that's Madrid's Thibaut Courtois speaking after the 3-2 win against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium last night. Taking it to Germany, and Sergio Grassi scored his 10th goal this season in the Champions League as Borussia Dortmund beat Sporting in the first leg of the knockout phase playoff. It's a first win for Dortmund manager Niko Kovac in his second game at the helm. Also at the Juventus Stadium, Samuel Mbangula registered a late goal to give Juventus a slender advantage over PSV in the Champions League knockout phase. And the Italian side, who finished 20th during the group stage, made a dominant start as Nicolas Gonzalez, Kenan Yildiz, and Paris Saint-Germain loanee Randal Colomwani all had some opportunities. But here from Juventus is Weston McKennie.
No, I think we started off strong to try and get the first goal. We pressed a lot up top. We ran a lot. And I think that's how we got the first goal. I think obviously momentum shifted a little bit after they scored. And we needed to try and get control of the game again. and I think we did at some point, and that's why, what led to the second goal. Fresh legs in the game. The players that came in made a difference, obviously, as you saw. So, yeah, I mean, it was, like you said, a deserved win.
All right, so that's Weston McKennie. He played for Juventus in the Italian Serie A. Well, taking it to France, and Ousmane Dembele continued his remarkable scoring form as PSG took control of the All-France Champions League knockout phase against Brest. Some more games later tonight in the playoffs, Club Brugge will play Atalanta at 5:45 p.m. For the 8 p.m. batch of matches, the Celtic taking on Bayern Munich. Feyenoord will play AC Milan, and then Monaco will take on Benfica. There's more later at 5 p.m. But before I leave, Chelsea striker Sam Kerr has been found not guilty of causing racially aggravated harassment after calling a Metropolitan officer stupid and white. Nigerian Kingston Crown Court cleared in relation to an incident in Twickenham, southwestern London, on 30th January 2023. That's the very latest in the world of sport. For more, you can head to citisportsonline.com and on X, also known as Twitter, City Sports JJ. We're back later at 5 p.m. on Sports Flash and the Traffic Avenue. Kickoff was probably brought to you by Zonda GA, Shell V Power, Shell Go Well. I am Gabi, your friend. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
It's not just a service station. It's a place you get more for every visit. It's not just a place to fill your tank. It's a place to fulfill your cravings. From chicken to chocolate, caramel or the tasty latte. It's not just a place to service your car. It's the perfect place to wash your ride. It's a place where convenience, love, friendship, joy and laughter assemble. Because it all starts at Shell. Visit Shell today and enjoy a wide array of services and offers under one roof. It starts at Shell.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Since inception, almost 100% of Ashesi University students have found jobs, started businesses, or gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. From Accra to Nairobi, London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. If you dream of a rewarding life and career, an Ashesi education prepares you just for that. Learn more about applying to Ashesi at ashesi.edu.gh. Remember, admission is ongoing.
Where do your hopes and dreams take flight? The money you've earned, the future shining bright. At Petra, we're not just here for your retirement plan. We are here for the life you've imagined and then some. From your child's education to your dream home's door, we'll help you achieve what you're striving for. Petra is here, steady and strong. Your wealth in safe hands, where it belongs. With investments that grow at rates that compete, we build your future with every heartbeat. That's Petra, your partner. Come joy or strife, guiding you toward the dreams that define your life. For your pensions, investments, loans, and more, visit our website at petraonline.com or call 0242 435037. Petra, achieve more.
This year, something magical is happening. A celebration of tradition, flavor, and community. Welcome to the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025.
Taste the heart of your heritage with mouth-watering dishes from across the country like Ademe with Akple, Tozafi with Ayoyo soup, Kokonte, Apopranta, Rare Quine, and many more. From rich spices to sweet treats, it's a journey for your senses. We're taking you back to your village.
Oh yes, let's recreate our age-old recipes.
But it's not just about food, you know. We're celebrating culture, connecting with family, and making memories that last a lifetime.
This March, let's come together and discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 29th and 30th of March 2025. The venue, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and the time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day.
The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025, where food, fun, and tradition meet. See you there.
Interested vendors should call 0558 973 973 or 0205 973 973 to register. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
I'm gonna lie. What you say to me? No check that one. I'm money. I am a new home. Who got that in them? I'm going to put it in Kate.
Yasako Fafu Frabo, Pepe Powder, Pepper Jawo, Sankofa Pepe Powder, Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa Pepe Powder, Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa Pepe Powder. Etienne Hawon, Bokata Nia Potoyoa, Sankofa got you covered. Go for Sankofa Pepe Powder. Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa Pepe Powder. Abuna Bunu, Abonje Krakra. Sankofa Pepe Powder. Red and hot, very natural. Sankofa Pepe Powder. Chinchinga, Enembia. Sankofa Pepe Powder. Noodles, Ghana Jolo. Sankofa Pepe Powder. Eshishi Anete. Sankofa Pepe Powder. Sankofa, Sankofa, Sankofa Pepe Powder. Sankofa, Sankofa Pepe Powder. Sankofa Pepe Powder.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
want to dedicate this song, Gone Till November, to all you ladies out there crying all alone in your room.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Not making you laugh. May the Lord bless your soul. I love you, girl.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Girl, you turn around and cry. I ask myself why, oh why? See, you must understand, I can't work a 9 to 5, so I'll be gone till November. Said I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, you, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, you, I'll be gone till November. January, February, March, April, May. I see you crying, but girl, I can't stay. I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. And give a kiss to my mother. Girl, I gotta know, don't cry. When I come back, you know the limit's the sky. I'll take you out to dinner to your favorite spot. Feed you an aphrodisiac just to get you high. Drive by movies, by a cemetery. If my corpse can talk, then I would tell you I was sorry. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. Some die with the name, some die nameless. Every time I make a run, girl, you turn around and cry. I ask myself why, oh why? See, you must understand, I can't work a 9 to 5, so I'll be gone till November. Said I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, yo, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, yo, I'll be gone till November. January, February, March, April, May. I see you crying, but girl, I can't stay. I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You'll give a kiss to my mother. We had none, I had to do something, so I'm knocking on heaven's door like I'm Bob Dylan. Never contemplating the charges I'm facing. My newborn son, I hope I see his graduation. Take him to the movies, by the cemetery. If my corpse can talk, then I would tell him I was sorry. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. Some die with the name, some die nameless. Every time I make a run,
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Why, oh why? See, you must understand, I can't work a 9 to 5, so I'll be gone till November. Said I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, you, I'll be gone till November. January, February, March, April, May. I see you crying, but girl, I can't stay. I'll be gone till November.
7:34, Wyclef Jean. He says, I'll be gone till November.
Tell my girl, you, I'll be gone till
A couple of birthdays coming through this morning on the show.
April, May. I see you crying, but girl,
Happy birthday to Mrs. Gloria Zimbe Antwi or Entry. May God continue to bless you, my beautiful wife, from your husband Obed Entry, aka the Dawn. Nana Kwesi Afreb. Actually, no, forgive me. On your birthday, I would want to shower you with all the love and happiness in the world. You deserve nothing but the best. Happy birthday, my love, Franklina Santua, a jam of DHL Global Forward Tema, from your husband Bill Clinton. And from CC and Heaven to Grandma Sandra on your 81st birthday. Happy birthday, mommy, and may you continue to grow stronger and healthier. We love you, mom.
See, you must understand, I can't work a 9 to 5, so I'll be gone till November. Said I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, yo, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November, I'll be gone till November. You tell my girl, yo, I'll be gone till November. January, February, March.
And to a young lady who brings everyone happiness, Leon Ashon, happy birthday to you. You are blessed and ordained for greatness from your parents, your siblings, and the rest of the family. We love you so much, Leon Ashon. And this one says, 5 decades of love, laughter, and adventure. What an incredible journey. Wishing you many more years of happiness and joy. Happy birthday, Benjamin Nkumsa, Teachers and Educational Workers Union, TUC, Tewu, University of Ghana, Legon. Happy birthday to you. Please wish my husband Eric Sam a happy birthday. God bless you for us. Please, Bernard, acknowledge my granddaughter's birthday. Walasi Mensa. Her mother's name is Antoinette Kaketo Katako of Immigration Accra. Happy birthday to you, Walasi.
Hey yo, I'm standing at the bar with a Cuban cigar. Hey yo, I think she's eyeing me from far. Yo, I wrote this in Haiti, overlooking Cuba. I asked her what's her name, she said Guantanamera. Remind me of an old Latin song.
Okay, now we are being told that the new DJ of SNIT, Nana Kwesi Afrebani, previously worked as a senior executive with business banking at Absa Bank. Prior to this, he had worked in the corporate banking department at ADB. So this was in relation to my question about not knowing too much about the new DJ of SNIT. So we're told he's a banker, formerly of Absa and formerly of ADB.
Hey yo, I'm standing at the bar with a Cuban cigar. Yo, I think she's eyeing me from far. Do you speak English?
And if you're a tertiary or high school graduate looking for employable skills to launch your career in tech, Code Train Africa is Ghana's premier software engineering and design training program, empowering hardworking individuals to take their place in the global tech scene. For the past 7 years, Code Train has trained over 700 software engineers with an 89% job placement rate within just 6 months after graduation with local and international companies. With Code Train, we don't just teach coding, we prepare you for the real world. Our practical bootcamp model helps you get working on real life situations and projects that solve problems for local and international companies. We offer 2-year professional training program in software engineering and UX design in-person training at our East Legon campus. You can log on to codetrainafrica.com or call 054-579-2397. Join Code Train Africa, your pathway to a highly paying career.
Made plans to infiltrate the street secret service. This gentle flower, fertility was a power. Sweet persona, Venus flytrap prima donna.
Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and Africa World Airlines is ready to make it extra special for you and your loved ones. If you want to win a free flight to any of our amazing destinations, follow our social media pages, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or Threads, or YouTube, or X. Create a 30-second video of yourself singing the chorus of the Africa World Airlines jingle. Post it with the hashtag FlyAWA single, tag us, and send it to us at any of our social media handles. The top 3 videos with the highest likes, comments, and views will each win a free ticket to any of our Africa World Airlines flight destinations. So get creative, sing your heart out, and let's make this Valentine's Day unforgettable with Africa World Airlines. Call 0800-200-200 for more information.
So pay your school fees and residential fees with Zenith Bank as stress-free. Students of KNUST, University of Ghana, UDS, University of Education, Winneba, UMAT, Ola College of Education, Akosombo International School, Ecole Ronsard, and many others, or guardians can visit any Zenith Bank branch nationwide or use the school's designated merchant code to pay school and residential fees for students. With Zenith Bank, fee payments are fast, easy, and processed in real time. For the full list of schools, visit zenithbank.com.gh or call Zenith Direct on 0302 680884 or 0542 000 111 for assistance. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. Now, if you're looking for litigation-free land, contact Royal Kingdom Estates, specialized in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. With properties in prime areas like Accra and Ebri, land starts at 90,000 cedis. They offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms, premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport. Visit them at Cantonments opposite Soul Clinic International School. Call 0557 555 909 or 0272 778880. Send an email, info at Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams.
7:41. So let's start off with this story where the chief of staff has asked the heads of institutions of state to revoke appointments of all people who are appointed after December 7. Now, he announced the reversal of these appointments and the public service recruitment, citing what he called procedural lapses. Now, Felix Ofosu, Kwachi Ofosu, who is the government spokesperson or the Minister for Government Communications, has been defending this in an interview with Umaru Sanda Amadu on Citi News.
You will recall that at the very first meeting of the Joint Transition Team, I had cause to draw attention to snippets of information that were filtering in, that some government agencies and ministries and departments were feverishly employing people in the dying embers of the Akufo-Addo administration. We expressed concern about this because we knew that it was going to have an adverse impact on our fiscal position, especially at the time when the economy was in dire straits. We drew the attention of the government side then of the transition team and requested that a halt be put to this, pending further discussions to ascertain exactly what was happening. This was shunted aside. They told us that they had the power to do so and they were not going to stop. We made further efforts to put a halt to this, pending some resolution. They still refused. So you recall that on 17 December 2024, I had called to issue a statement on behalf of the NDC side of the transition team, in which I conveyed the position of the team and the then president-elect, that seeing as the NPP had dug in and were unprepared to put a halt to this, we would have no option than to remove all appointments when we come to power. Having come to power, we have looked into the matter and found that due process was bypassed in the appointments that were made. There were some who didn't put in any application at all. Others did not go through interviews. Some who should have gone through medical examination didn't go through.
So
and
you
in some
say
cases,
that it was bad
the appointment letters were paid, except that when you look into the payroll, you will not find that they have received any salary at all since they were employed. Now, these mark of irregularity, and to that extent, we deem them unlawful and illegal. And as a government, we cannot afford a situation where people are illegally, recruited into the public and civil service without recourse to due process. And so, pursuant to the position that we put out on 17 December 2024, the Chief of Staff has written to all these agencies and directed that all such appointments be revoked, pending further directives.
Okay, just clarify the illegality bit for me and the unlawful part. Which law is being breached in this appointment?
Bad faith was demonstrated by the NPP. The governor had been in power for 8 years. They had every opportunity to employ any number of people. Yet, when they lost power and they had barely 3 to 2 weeks to leave office, they decided that that was the time that they were going to pack the public and civil service with people that we suspect strongly were MPP supporters and sympathizers. Not that there's anything wrong with their political coloration, but the circumstances under which they were employed were highly irregular. And I've encountered some of them. We have instances where people received backdated letters. They were employed on a particular day, but the records were falsified to make it seem that they were employed much longer before the period. There were some who didn't even put in an application letter. Umar, I know that before Citi FM employed you, you had to go through a certain process. Among others, you submitted an application letter expressing interest in working with the organization. I'm sure that upon receipt of the letter, you were taken through some interview to assess your capacity to perform in the role that you were seeking to occupy. And then after that, you were taken through other processes, culminating in the issuance of a letter employing you, starting from a particular date. Similar processes apply in the public and civil service, but these were put aside, and people were hurriedly packed into the public and civil service. We find this to be irregular. And in addition to the fact that these are unplanned, recruitments, and it will have severe impact on our fiscal position, there was a need to review it and ensure that due process is followed if and when government comes to do recruitments.
Okay, how bad is the situation? And I mean, how many numbers were recruited between December 7 and January 7, for which reason you believe that you had to take the actions that you took?
We are still collecting the figures, but they ran into thousands. And as we warned during the transition period, we were always going to take action to ensure that this sort of thing does not recur.
So you say that it was bad faith, but that does not automatically mean it was unlawful, was it? Unless the part where you say the letter was backdated.
Tomorrow, I've been doing that throughout this interview. I have told you that critical steps in the recruitment process were bypassed. There were some who didn't even put in any application. Others received letters.
So it means that if you don't apply before getting the job, that's unlawful?
The process is clear. The civil service is perhaps the most structured organization we have. It is highly regimented, and the protocols are clearly established. So if you do not follow that process and you get in there, the chances are that you will lose that position when scrutiny comes to be carried out on how you are employed. And it is important to once again draw attention that we served notice that to the extent that we noticed irregularities in the way that the employment was done, we were going to take action. So we only kept faith with the people of Ghana and done what we said we would do. Let me say that this government is committed to generating employment for all manner of persons. And in due course, vacancies will be declared and people will go through the right procedure to secure employment in the public and civil service, even including those whose appointments have now been revoked, to the extent that they use due process to get in. So let me stress that this is not an attempt to replace MPP supporters with NDC supporters. That is not what is happening. But we need to get to a stage where the right things are done and that employment into the public or civil service is done on the basis of merit, to the extent that you meet the requirements and you go through the proper processes. There should be no difficulty.
The question that many would ask is, granted that they were recruited through the processes you say they were recruited, and they were recruited after December 7, they are Ghanaians. You've campaigned to create jobs. Now you are reducing the jobs that were already in existence. Granted that they are NPP members, they're still Ghanaians. Why don't you let them stay on?
And our Ghanaians do not escape sanctions merely because they are Ghanaians. So it is not sufficient to say that you are Ghanaian. And because you have bypassed a process, you should be allowed to continue only because you are Ghanaian. I don't think that is a tenable proposition. The point is that people knew they were doing wrong. Notice was said that that wrong would be righted, and they still went ahead to do it. We cautioned that this was going to happen. But we have to do it, first of all, in order to protect the public purse and ensure that the right caliber of people are recruited into the public and civil service.
You say that it was unlawful and illegal. Does it mean that after their names are removed, there will be legal action taken perhaps by the Attorney General?
Well, those who did the recruitment may have instances where they are investigated. But I don't think that we are going to go after anybody who was a beneficiary of the recruitment. We will not go that far. The most important thing is that we have reversed what was clearly an irregularity. And I must stress that even those people are not excluded from future employment opportunities insofar as they go through due process.
What about those who decide to go to court and take the government on to say that their appointments were unfairly revoked simply because they belong to another party? How will you deal with that?
Well, of course, we cannot stand in the way of anybody who wants to challenge this. We believe that we've done the right thing and that the law is on our side.
Finally, I noticed that at the SNIT, the Director General and his 2 deputies have had their contracts terminated. Is it under similar fashion or that operates differently than this one?
But Umar, I'm surprised that you're asking, because you notice that there are many heads of state organizations who have been replaced. So it is the routine replacement of heads of of state-owned enterprise that is happening.
Yeah, so my question is it mandatory that once a government changes, a head of an SOE has to go?
The Supreme Court only says that you cannot say that merely because governments have changed, one person or the other should leave their position. But if you are appointed by somebody or through a certain process, you can be removed through the same process. Today, your bosses can say that your interview has not been impressive, so for that reason, you should be young off eyewitness news. The world will not come to an end. Another person will replace you. So every day that you go to work, you know for a fact that your boss can decide to replace you. It doesn't have to happen simply because the new management has taken over Omni Media, which is your parent company. But an assessment can be made of your performance and you can be deemed unfit to continue and you'll be removed. Or that there is a new direction for the company and they don't find that you have the requisite skills to keep pace with what you want to do. So it is not simply because governments have changed. There are people who remain in position even though governments have changed. And I'm sure you've heard people agitate and question why they have been retained. But it is because they are deemed to possess what it takes to carry on in those positions.
As a former Deputy Minister for Information...
Let me also stress
yes,
that sometimes dignity, your own dignity requires that if you do not align ideologically with a political party, you are an active member of one political party and you got a position where they came into power. I think that decency requires that when the situation changes, you yourself find that your continuous stay in office is no longer tenable because of the political disagreement that you have. I think that people should get to that stage and know that sometimes you need to jump before you are pushed. There have been some who have been very honorable and have done the right thing. They've turned in their resignation, like the 3 governors of the Bank of Ghana who recently resigned. They did not wait to be removed from their positions. Some of them took accommodating leave, some of them took terminal leaves with a view to going into retirement because they know that the appointing authority has changed and they must give opportunity to the new government to change the direction of those organizations.
So that was Felix Kwachofosu, the Minister of State for Government Communications, speaking there to Maru Sandamadu yesterday on the Chief of Staff Julius Debra's announcement or directive asking for, or indeed reversing the appointment or public service recruitments and appointments, citing procedural lapses. And of course, there are a couple other high-profile ones that have been announced in the past few hours. So we understand that the DG of the non-existent Keta port has been sacked. So how do you sack a person who's managing a port that doesn't exist yet? But that's the story on citynewsroom.com. Mahama fires director of non-existent Keta port. And that story was quite funny when the appointment was made. Apparently it was a substantive appointment. That President John Mahama has relieved Dr. Alexander Eduse of his duties as director of the Keta port. I mean, a project that has stalled since its announcement. So how do you, because I'm not sure if the project has even started.
Yeah.
You know, but this was a big story, I think, a couple of years ago. Well, he's been fired. I don't know if there's any new...
Yeah, it's been a long time in coming. I mean, the last time I drove past that particular stretch was in November, I think. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see much happening there, but the argument was that it needed to have someone who had responsibility over it. The person was based in Accra and had other responsibilities.
So this is what I know. In 2019, under the former administration, Dr. Eduse was tasked to oversee the development of a port at Keta.
Yes.
Now, in 2018, the Akufo-Addo government designated Keta as the official site for the port under an executive instrument with plans for the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to oversee development. And of course, despite the announcement, the project has yet to take shape, fueling frustration among residents and stakeholders in the region. Now, in the 2024 campaign, at the time, Mahama criticized the MPP government for what he described as a wasted opportunity, arguing that after 8 years, not even a single structure had been constructed at the port. Now, in August last year, 6 private investors expressed interest in partnering with the government to develop the facility, but no firm agreement had been reached. So, the man whose position was highly announced, but for whose job we are not clear, has been asked to go home. The DG of SNIT and his 3 deputies have also been asked to go home.
Yeah.
We're also told that this morning there will be a handing over ceremony between the embattled former SIC.
Oh, finally.
MD
Yeah.
and the incoming MD.
Oh, she's no longer going to court.
So we are told reliably that there will be a cordial handing over ceremony.
So the door is not locked.
I'm sure they will bring the key for the handing over. So now the reason I'm pointing these ones out are these are more high profile.
Yeah.
The question though is, so do all government agencies have to have new leadership because the government has changed? Are there any agencies of state that should be politically agnostic? Or the counterfactual question is, were all these people appointed by the former president?
Most likely.
Because the list we have of SOEs and government agencies is quite big. Some of them are fully government agencies. So, for example, Food and Drugs Authority, Standards Authority, these are known government agencies. But they are companies with government interest. So, like the SIC situation, for example, are those also, so for example, Gihok Distilleries, government be the majority shareholder. So does the fact that it's a new government mean that there should be a new leadership? And should that new leadership assume their position just by appointment, by an announcement by the presidency? Or should there be a different process in terms of whether the board should meet after they have been constituted, and then they should have a proper system of choosing a new MD who's probably nominated by the majority shareholder? These are some legalities that have come up, right? Now, we are told that the SIC matter has been settled, and so there will be a handing over today. We'll keep an eye on that story. Now, we are also told, I'm putting all this out there based on what I've heard since the newspaper review, that the OSP people are saying that they are not behind the raid of Ken Oforiate's house. And that they will have a press conference later this morning. In fact, there was a press conference planned already. And that the press conference was to have addressed a lot of issues in relation to what they are doing. And that this issue, which they claim was a staged, or they say is unknown to them, they basically say that they are not aware of this.
So contrary to the report from Herald this morning.
So we will be covering that press conference this morning to hear from the OSP, because while all of us reported of the raid, it was the Herald that pointed to the OSP. In our report, we just said that there were men in military uniform who raided the house. But now the OSP's team is telling us that they have a press briefing today, and they do not know anything about the raid that that the Herald is attributing to them.
Interesting.
So, send us your comments. 054-998-6996. So it seems as if the euphoria around the appointments has reduced, but that has not reduced how consequential some of the appointments have been. So, for example, SNIT is a very consequential appointment because our tier 1 pensions are managed by SNIT. The DACF is a very important appointment, and somehow, because the transition euphoria has died down, these stories are not getting the same level of prominence. For example, I think SNIT is a more consequential appointment than, say, Petroleum Commission, for example. But the Petroleum Commission, because of the announcement much earlier, it gained a lot of prominence. SNIT is a very, very important announcement. And I'm not saying we have to know everybody who's appointed in government office, but for some of the appointees, not a lot is known about them. For example, for the SNIT guy, I had never heard anything about him. Thought he was working in some bank. Although the guy going to run the DACF is somebody we know in terms of our work. And again, we are not saying that media has to know the people, but I think it's an interesting situation where I think a lot more consequential appointments are being made with a lot less media coverage. Whether that is by design or not, I do not know.
True.
So I remember the first round, GMPC, hey, big one, Coco Board, Randy Abbey, GMPC, Edward Bauer, MPA, Godwin, Edwin Utamaklo.
Yeah.
Now, Tor has had a substantive appointment.
Yes.
Initially, there was a rumored appointment which was not clear.
Yeah.
Then GIPC2, the appointment we told was confirmed a couple of days ago. But I think SNIT and DACF are very, very important. And somehow, even though the media has reported it, it's not gained the level of traction that's needed. Now, the other thing I need to also say is that there was another story today about ECG and an appointment. Now, I'm being told that appointment is not being confirmed and that the story is speculative. So, we need to be very, very careful in the way we go about this thing. So, we can certainly confirm, of course, the story said that, the ECG story said that the engineer was likely to be appointed, but it had not been confirmed. What has been confirmed is the DACF appointment.
Because even the DACF, earlier we had a certain name for that particular
Exactly.
role. Now we have a new person.
Yes.
And then there was another place like that they've changed, and Kwachofosu was telling you on point of view that it's not
when
new.
I asked I was quite surprised at the answer he gave, because we actually have a video showing that the lady who was appointed, I think she's called Brimpong, to the GIPC, actually went to the office and had a meeting with the staff, which was videoed. All right, this was like last week or so, 2 weeks ago. Then we are told there's a new person who's replacing her. So that is quite strange. And it seems as if some of the lobbying has gotten to a point where people are even planting stories about appointments. Now, I'm going to highlight some of the appointments that have generated controversy when we come back. So, for example, the appointment of the VRA acting MD, almost every day a group of people send me posters saying they don't want his appointment.
I got that too.
So I keep getting like artworks of people saying we don't want Kenzo as our director, blah 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 blah. So there's a lot of intrigue around these things, and I'll try and we'll deal with some of them when we come back. But it's 8:02.
Yes.
Tech and social media trends is next.
Sure.
And it's brought to us by
First Bank Ghana and Telisol. First Bank Ghana says if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's very easy. Do that through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems, PAPS. We have a collaboration with them. If you come to any of our branches nationwide with your cash, your money will be transferred in no time. If you want to receive money, please create an account with us, and then you're good to go. Call us on 0596 921 921 to find out more about the PAPS system. Now switch to Telecel fixed broadband today and experience incredible bonuses, non-expiry bundles, data transfers across devices, and lots more. New customers, you get 50% bonus data in addition to other mind-blowing offers. If you're an existing customer, you receive 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal to keep you browsing. So subscribe to the Telecel fixed broadband for these amazing offers. Dial *900#, use the Telecel Play app, visit Telecel retail outlet or telecel.com.gh to get connected. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energy.
3 minutes past 8. So what is trending this morning, Susu?
So we'll continue with Felix Kwachofosu. He's in the trends because he's been doing a lot of interviews.
I'm telling you.
He's taking his job very seriously. So he's in a lot of interviews. So we heard his interview earlier with Umaru Sanda. We heard him. He's talking about appointments, all sorts of topics. He's really taking the job seriously. So naturally he's in the trends. Yeah, and that's how it is. It's good. It's open, honest communication from the government, and that's what we love to see. They should continue.
He was on my show on
Monday as well,
and then on Sunday yesterday.
Exactly. So we want them to continue to be open with us and keep telling us what's going on, because that's what we want from our government, to know to be in the loop and be happy about it. So staying on the local scene, I'll talk about the Council of State. So naturally the Council of State elections happened, and they are trending because different things happened. Some people won, there was some violence in other places. It was just not, I don't know how to say it. It was just a mixed bag of things. And I think it also doesn't help that the Council of State is very opaque, in the sense that a lot of people don't know exactly what they do.
I don't even know who the Electoral College is. I'm told it's like 2 or 3 people from each assembly nominated. For me, I never really like small electoral colleges. I feel like when you want to vote for people, there have to be more people voting because we don't know who they are, we don't know who they account to, and then you are told that they vote 18 out of 18. Like, who are these guys? They should put their faces out.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they are voting for our regions, right?
Exactly. So the Council of State is in the trends. Not all good, not all bad, but it is what it is. People are just talking about it.
But which of them is trending? Is it a Western regional guy, 32-year-old guy?
I think
I saw him. Gold dealer. I hear gold dealer, Western region.
Something.
Somewhere.
I feel you, right?
Gold dealer. You have to be sure which kind of gold is dealing with.
I feel you, right?
I mean, to be fair, gold dealer, gold is the proper profession. But the way Galamsey has become,
I was about to say, right?
Gold dealer, 32-year-old.
Right now, when you hear anyone is doing good, you are not wondering, do they have their permits?
Which side?
Are they in the forest reserves? What's going on? So, a lot of them are trending. People are talking about them and how some people are complaining about the electoral college, like you said, that how can we elect something that's supposed to be so important and we don't get it?
We don't even know who the people who are. In fact, the question to many people is that, do you even know who your Council of State rep is?
We should scrap that.
Anyway, so that's trending. What else is trending?
And of course, it was the Champions League night.
Real
So
Madrid.
there's a lot of football trends. Well, not even just Real Madrid. Ousmane Dembele is also trending.
He scored 3-0.
He scored 2 goals again. He's been in great form. I think he's the top scoring player in 2025 in Europe's top 5 leagues. Yes, exactly. They beat Brest 3-0 in the first leg away from home. So it looks like their next leg at home will be very comfortable and they can rest some players.
And Man City was beating
of course, the biggest game of the night, Man City. Ederson is trending.
Oh Lord.
Yes. Mendy is trending. That's probably Ferland Mendy. He missed the big jam. The Etihad is trending. Rico Lewis, Bellingham, Haaland, Vardio.
It's like
and honestly, it was a very good match. I watched it, and I found it interesting because it was the one time they've played 6 times in the last 3 years. So this is game 7 in a short space of time, and this was the first time I thought Real Madrid were kind of outplay Man City in general.
Generally, Man City does outplay them.
Yeah,
Man
exactly.
City's confidence is down.
Exactly. And what made it funny was that this was the one time Madrid was outplaying Man City, and they were down going into the 85th minute.
Can you imagine?
But then
two
quick fire goals, and they got the result. So more trouble.
If Pep had hair, he would have tore all his hair out. Just I don't have any hair, so I don't know why he'd be tearing out.
You remember the last time he was scratching his head, and you could see the scratches on his head.
I mean,
he's suffering. He
should go for a sabbatical. It's terrible. Tech news.
Well, tech news. There was a AI conference in Paris.
Yeah, our own Richest Guy is there.
Oh, he is there. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Hey, but Richest Guy, if you say AI, you come and catch
then you should have called him to give us some.
Yeah, he actually sent a couple of stories for online.
Okay.
So the story on Okonjo Iweala, WTO, that was Richest Guy's story.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I was going to talk about the inclusive AI agenda that the US and the UK have refused to sign.
Oh my God.
So at the summit, there was this whole idea of we want to make AI open, inclusive, transparent, ethical, safe, secure, and trustworthy. And those nice international agreements we have about things. They wanted to do one for AI, and the US and the UK have disagreed.
I'm sure because of China.
But yes, because China have signed it, France have signed it, India signed it, Japan, Australia, Canada.
Charlie, let's move on.
But the US and the UK have refused. So it's making experts worried that can we actually have a holistic AI framework without the USA especially? I think the UK
US down on a different tangent.
Yeah, so everyone is wondering whether
they're in Trump land.
Yeah,
so what they are doing. If you want to wait for US, you don't do anything.
Exactly. So people are wondering whether this was going to be a big problem, whether AI can be safe and that kind of stuff without them. So it remains to be seen how things will turn out. So that's the biggest news, that US doesn't want to join an inclusive AI framework.
Thank you very much, Susuk.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop,
hello sir, Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly, and send Telecel Cash for free to my dear ones. We keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Make free Telecel Cash transactions every day, anytime, from your Telecel Cash wallet to your loved one's Telecel Cash wallet. Save on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
First bank
for a bank to rely on. Let me give you a shout out to Lion. Wouldn't we sick out to banky baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe, Universal Banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt, they tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us, do I'm like us. First Bank to treat you first, treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first, think about you first.
You first, First Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
In the soil. Find your way into profitable careers and businesses in our Greek and ATVET now. Take a step today and change your life, your family, and community. Dial *718*50# to join now. Ghana Grows. Hope Day. Ghana Grows is an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation, Limehouse, and other partners.
There is love at Orca Deco this Valentine's season. We've got lovely discounts on selected home furniture and accessories. Enjoy 20% off exclusive furniture, decor, accessories, and many more. Orca has everything to make your sweetheart feel truly special. Set the mood and experience the art of living this Valentine at Orca from now until 16th February. Visit Orca Deco on the Spintex Road before everything runs out.
Did you know that worms take away nutrients from the food you eat? Just listen to them.
Brothers, yesterday the fufu nice, huh?
Oh yeah. The choba woman there, she did try wa.
Charlie, something come on. Eat food.
It did taste like banana.
Make a taste some. Make me try a taste. Make a taste. Hey, something is doing me.
Something is doing me too.
Oh, it be Vermox.
Vermox banana flavored dewormer is available in both suspension and tablet and is suitable for children and adults. It's good for you, bad for worms. Not recommended for children under 2 years and pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Solar Tech, the power to protect.
Yes! Solartech, your tried and trusted brand, is your total solution to all power problems, whether low voltage, high voltage, power surges, spikes, brownouts, or what have you. Solartech fully protects your valuable equipment, no matter your appliance. We have the perfect Solartech for you. Choose from my tried and trusted range, such as Fridge Guard, TV Guard, High Volt Guard, Multi Guard, AVS 13, AVS 30, AC Guard, Solartech TV Stab, Solartech Fridge Stab, UPS, and Solartech Voltage Stabilizer. Beware of counterfeit Solartech products. Get your genuine Solartech products today at our Abelingpe office and all our authorized dealers across the country. Contact us at number 10 Yiwa Street, Abelingpe, or call 0302-761450 or 0302-775106.
Solartech, the power to protect.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
It's you I'm talking to. Well, you I'm talking to now. Why do you look so sad and forsaken? When one door is closed, don't you know other is open? Would you let the system make you kill your brother, man? No, Dread, no. Would you make the system make you kill your
The
brother,
Citi
man?
Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Would you make the system get it up your head again? No, Dread, no. Well, the biggest man
60 minutes past 8 on the Citi Breakfast Show.
was just a baby in this life.
Okay, so while we talk about the appointments, there's something that's emerging that it seems as if, and I'm probably speculating here, but it seems as if some of the appointments are delaying because of lobbying or some levels of confusion. And I sort of pressed Felix Kwachofosu on this in my interview. I'll play back what he said.
Yeah.
But I think we've identified about 6 or so of the agencies where there's some controversial issues, and I'll come to that shortly. Let me just pay some bills quickly before I do that. So, renewing your motor insurance policy with SG Ghana is not just about getting reliable cover for you and your vehicle. There are other benefits that will blow your mind. So, from now till 30th April, buy or renew your comprehensive motor insurance policy with SG Ghana, Sound Drive, and win big. You could win a 2-night all expenses paid stay for 2 at the luxurious Safari Valley Resort. You could also win a 4 brand new tires or free car servicing for a whole year. And there's more. Get up to 500 cedis free fuel instantly just for renewing or buying your comprehensive motor insurance policy from SG Ghana. Call 0302-214-314 for more information, or walk into the nearest SG Ghana branch to buy or renew your motor insurance policy today. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. SG Ghana Sound Drive is underwritten by Sanlam Alliance. General terms and conditions apply. Volkswagen wants to be part of every moment of your life, whether you're going to work or going for a family meeting or even resolving a family emergency or on a road trip with friends. The new Terramont will carry all your special moments as its renowned spacious 7-seater has enough space for you. Its 3.6-litre V6 petrol engine produces maximum power of 280 horsepower. Be sure you'll be home and work quicker than expected. Now selling at 712,000 cedis. Call or WhatsApp 025-795-6688 for more information about our range of models: Virtus, T-Cross, T1 All-Space Terramont, and the Amarok pickup. Hurry while stocks last. Volkswagen, rise and thrive.
Now, Charlie, the enjoyment is real. From January to June 2025, Enterprise Insurance is giving you more reasons to smile on the road. So buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy and enjoy amazing rewards, free fuel coupons for your car, and airtime for your phone. It's that simple. Insure naturally. Enterprise Insurance is rated AAA by the GCR for financial strength and claims paying ability. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise is your advantage. It's time to maximize and grow your business exponentially. Just ask me, Bisame, if a shop owner, seamstress, trader, mechanic, or artisan, or you own a hotel or hospital, maybe you have a phone, a TV, a car, or any property you want to sell, the Bisame app helps you do just that. So with the Bisame app, your security is assured. Just locate the item you want to buy from any social media platform. Inform Bisame. A seller is called to bring the item to our office for inspection before you make payment. Then the item is shipped to you. So download the Bisame app on Google Play Store or App Store today and unlock endless possibilities. Grow your business, connect with customers, and enjoy success with ease.
Well, as we said, there are about 170. Okay, let me go through this quickly. State-owned enterprises, the list I have are 53.
Yep.
Then other state entities are 75, and then there's joint venture companies which are 47. So 47 plus 53 is 100, and then if you add 75, 175. Now think about this. Each of these has a CEO or an MD. Some have 1 or 2 deputy MDs that are also appointed by the president. So for example, when it came to MIF, president appointed a DG or MD and appointed a deputy.
True.
So let's even assume that this 175, the president appoints just 2 people per position. That's about 350.
Yeah.
Now let's assume each of these has a board of 7. And if you look at, so for example, for some of the entities, government is a sole shareholder, so government appoints all the board. So that's probably like 5 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So multiply
by the 305.
So if you multiply 300 by 5, that's about
2,135.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, and then you're getting into, it's a lot of names. So I asked Felix Kwachi about this, and he said it's actually true that the president appoints over 5,000 people, many of whom will not even see in his life. So we'll come to this shortly, and also some of the controversies around the appointments. Maybe they appoint somebody today, a new name comes up. But I'm going to do a quick interview on something that happened yesterday, and then I'll come back to this topic. All right, so I'll come back to this shortly. So so apart from the GIPC one and the SIC one, I'm now being told that even for DACF, there was a name that had been advertised in the early hours of this government's life.
So January 28th, 2025, this was a Tuesday, there was a news card coming from Happy FM, for example, that announced Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisu-Kote as being appointed as acting administrator of the District Assembly Common Fund. This was 28th January this year. Now, we understand that there's a new District Assembly Common Fund administrator, and that's in the person of Michael Harry Yamson, and he will be taking over. We're told he's a seasoned business strategist, governance expert, and marketing specialist. Now, this is coming on 11th February 2025. So January 28th, Hannah Bisu's name comes up in the.
But what we need to be careful is
media.
that Hannah Bisu's name came up in the media, but never from the government.
Yes.
So that's quite different from the GIPC one, where the woman actually went to the office.
In fact, GIPC released a statement welcoming her to the office. Yes, so on 29th January 2025, GIPC welcomes new CEO Dr. Benes Makafui Primpong. It goes on to say the Ghana Investment Promotion Center is pleased to announce that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Dr. Benes Makafui Primpong as his new chief executive. It goes on to tell you that she is results driven. She's a pharmacist.
So that controversy is well documented.
Yes.
The other one, which is a bit confusing for me, is Tor, because I remember in the last 2 weeks when we were discussing this, a name came up as the DG for Tor.
Yes.
I think it was called Combat.
Edmond Combat.
Now we're told there's somebody who's been appointed.
So Edmond Combat, we understand, is now the DMD, that's Deputy Managing Director. And then there's one Dr. Yusuf Suleimana. He's going to be the Tor boss, Managing Director proper.
So was it that we got it wrong when we said Combat was going to be the MD, or they decided to change his position?
From your interviews, it's become clear that there's still a lot of lobbying going on, even after some names are mentioned. And you asked Felix a question whether or not someone was impersonating the president, releasing some of the statements that he categorically denied. But some of the things, subsequently have been changed. So it's possible that some names can be dropped, and then later some changes will happen.
So while we deal with this, I want to just do a quick detour into something else. So as we were discussing the Council of State yesterday in the Ashanti region, some macho men caused a stir when they stormed the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council and disrupted the exercise. Now, they destroyed all the ballots just when the officials of the EC were about to begin counting the ballots. We are told about 200 police personnel who were not armed took to their heels as the well-built men resorted to removing the jackets of the EC officials, kicking the ballot boxes, and physically assaulting journalists. This is the Ghanaian Times report. Now let's speak to Ashanti regional team. Is it Hafiz? Bright Yeboah. Okay, so Bright Yeboah was there for us. He's also one of our regional correspondents. Bright, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, so what happened at the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council? Were you there yourself, and can you describe what you saw? Well, we have lost Bright. We'll put him back on. Forgive us for this. But the reports we got was quite troubling. I think I watched the news yesterday.
The visuals were very disturbing, actually.
And this is becoming a trend.
Council of State.
Elections. I mean, what are they going to do at the Council of State?
That's what even shocks me. The Council of State, that, like you said, 30 people are coming to vote.
Yeah. And
like, we don't even know what is going on. And now you are getting macho men to go and intimidate.
People are jumping barricades, pushing policemen, and the video is not good.
You've seen the video?
Yeah, this is it. The police they looked overpowered, because then the people were really causing chaos. It was like commotion over there, and this will happen. Then the police will later say they are on the manhunt for the people who are pushing them aside. That's one thing I don't understand.
So police are on the manhunt.
Are there, catch the people.
They are on a manhunt for these people.
The very people who were disrupting the thing, and they were watching.
So maybe they are on a manhunt, because this is not a man. This is like, no, seriously, viewers. If you watch,
it doesn't look good.
If you watch this video,
it's not looking good, Bernard.
Oh my God! Yeah. I'm told journalists were also beaten.
Yeah, this is Council of State.
They beat us a lot.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Charlie.
You know the funny thing? The question is, these 200 people who went there, what has the previous Council of State member there done for them?
That's the thing.
I mean, it's a very sad situation. And I think the government is also sort of giving this boy a honeymoon.
Too much.
For me, when they started amassing at GRA to say they didn't want, look, you are in government for a reason. Maintain law and order.
Crack the whip.
At the time, you can say there was no interior minister. There's an interior minister. This is happening in Kumasi. Yeah. You cannot allow this to happen. All right, so we have our... Bright Yebo on the line. Bright, thanks for joining us. I was asking if you were actually there in the at the Regional Coordinating Council. Can you describe what you saw?
I was there at the midst of the whole issue when everything started unfolding. In fact, voting started at exactly 9 o'clock when all was said, everything was said. Tight security present. I could count hundreds of policemen who were there going through security process amongst agents and the contestants as well. In fact, so in the Ashanti region, 86 assembly members from the district assemblies were expected to vote. In fact, they voted, and it started, like I said, at 9 o'clock a.m. when tight security was there to ensure smooth and orderliness at that particular time. However, what began as peaceful election took a chaotic turn shortly after 11 a.m. at the Regional Coordinating Council, just as voting ended. A group of individuals forcefully stormed the venue, in fact, overturning tables and destroying ballot boxes. What happened was that at a point when security was intact, when everyone was going through some security checks, these guys came out of nowhere. Well-built, heavily built men came because it was assumed that their candidate was losing at some point. And so they felt there was no need for them to continue with the whole process. So the violence erupted, allegedly triggered by claims that the candidates expected to win had lost. And so this actually sparked some kind of outrage among some of these supporters, of course, these buildsmen. As it stands, the EC is yet to comment on the issue. In the midst of this whole chaos, 4 journalists, in fact, were brutally assaulted. And as we speak, no arrest has been made yet. But then the policemen, Ghana Police, has actually issued a communique that, well, they've launched a manhunt to the whole incident.
So, Bright.
We are yet to.
Yeah. So Bright, how many were you able to count the number of people who came, and were you assaulted yourself, or you managed to take cover?
Fortunately for me, I was able to take shelter when all those things were happening, and so I was not assaulted in any way. But later on, I was told, in fact, I saw some pictures from some of my colleagues that at least 4 of our journalists, Ashanti regional journalists, were brutally assaulted. It was terrible at that particular moment. So for me, I was able to take cover.
Were EC officials also attacked?
You could see them manhandling them. It was a terrible scene, pushing them, shoving them off here and there, and the policemen tried to break free some of these things that were happening. So it was a terrible scene.
So the EC was not able to declare the result.
The EC was not able to declare the result. In fact, it couldn't even start counting. It was when the sorting was underway, that was when it all started. So counting did not start. No result was declared.
Do you know how many people voted?
86 delegates voted in the region.
Were there any of the aspiring candidates present when this happened?
All of them were present. All 12 candidates were present. 10 men and 2 women were present.
Did any of them speak to you guys after the confusion?
Every one of them took to their heels. In fact, you could see at a point, Nanan Kansa Boaduayabuaho was being held to his car and they drove off. And all of them scattered. You couldn't see anyone.
So all 12 of them ran away?
All of them voted.
Has the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council or Security Council said anything about this since yesterday?
They are yet to comment on the issue. In fact, I was with the regional minister yesterday when he even told some the KJTR market. He's yet to comment on it. The security force in over there is also yet to comment, and then the EC body is also yet to comment on the issue.
So we actually don't know the fate of the election, whether there's even a new date for voting or anything. What we know is that there was scate, everybody ran away.
It is unclear as to the next call of action from the EC. We cannot tell.
Bright, thank you for your work. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Bright. Yabua is one of our correspondents in the Ashanti region. I can tell the trauma.
Yeah.
For 200 people or more to raid an election center with
86.
police looking on. Yeah. You know, it is. I really want to call on the government to to take this thing serious. You see, it's like the song this guy sang, Adane Best. Oya mojata bi ole eke Daniel Bana. It's like there's now this growing culture of we don't agree and therefore we'll scatter.
Yeah.
And it started with some of the collations. We saw footages from the EC in Accra regional office, where our correspondent went and saw people had gone there to vandalize the place. We saw people massing up at GRA head office to say they don't like somebody. Eventually, they were asked to move away. People had gone to Ghana Gas. You remember, this is in a transition period.
Yeah.
Somehow they were reined in. The recollations that were happening at the police training school, people went there in their numbers. The police were trying to control them. Then you have voting for something as, I mean, you can even call it inane, not very, very, consequential. And and I've seen the video, guys. It is very serious. Yeah. I think the Interior Minister needs to issue a statement on this. He's the MP for Aswanse, right? You can say that in the past month, when some of these things were happening, because of the transition, there was like a power vacuum, and people took advantage of it. This government has sworn in a 19-member task force to deliver on Mohammed's 120-day social contract. The Interior Ministry should be working. You cannot allow people to do this, and then there's no statement from the Regional Coordinating Council. So according to the reporter, we haven't heard anything from Ashanti Rexec or Regional. It's terrible.
I saw boxes that were broken as well, and that kind of scene is not the best. Even so, look at this video. This is even at the Greater Accra also. There was some chaos there, and this is for election of members of the Council of State. You have more than 200 people invade a voting area where 86 people are going to make a choice for one person. I don't understand why we are really doing this to ourselves. And like we said, during the election period, then the police could be unsure in trying to protect themselves and their interests. Instead of crack the whip on political party supporters for fear of retribution and all those things, then they stay their hands and all. Yeah. But now, I mean, we've sped up the vetting process for the Interior Minister because of some of these issues. We are told the vetting process, some things had to be sped up, all because of the security nature of the mandate they had. So let me ask you a question.
Do you think the lack of clarity about the status of the IGP is affecting this. You know, when I asked the minister on Monday whether IGP will be maintained, he wasn't very clear. Could that be part of the reason why the police are sort of?
He actually said that if he's changed, it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, but he wasn't definite.
What he said was that the IGP can be changed for whatever reason. Like there doesn't need to be. He doesn't need to do it. Even if he's doing his job well, they can change him. That's basically what he was saying.
It wouldn't be surprising to anyone if he's changed.
And for me, that didn't sound right.
Yes. Let's hear the man actually. So this is Monday, my interview for Les Quattro. So now we're basically trying to understand why there hasn't been any strong response from government to what is becoming increasing lawlessness. And this is of a political kind. All right. So here's the interview with Felix on Monday where he was asked about this issue.
But the point also is that Bernard, you can also not lose all your experience hands in Parliament because someone needs to hold the fort in Parliament. For instance, someone may argue that why was Honorable Mama Yaga not made a minister, given all these qualifications and all that. But eventually he became a majority leader. Honorable Kisegan, vastly experienced in finance and what have you. He was one time deputy finance minister. One can argue that maybe he was primed to become a finance minister, but he's now a deputy majority leader. So Honorable Adongo, Honorable Zaneto are fine materials by any stretch of the imagination. They've proven their competence and what have you. But I think that there are other roles that they can play outside of government. Mind you, it's a 4-year journey also. So who is to say that there will not be changes along the line so that they find themselves in the executive? I'm sure they understand that there are various roles that one can play in support of President Mohammed's agenda. Yeah.
We haven't heard anything about the 24-hour economy.
Yes, indeed. I think early last week, President Mohammed held a meeting with Mr. Guzitano, who has been pegged to lead that effort. And extensive discussions were held on the way forward. Very soon, they will come up with some public engagement to bring the public along in terms of the work that they are doing. That is an outfit that will go all out to spearhead the implementation of the 24-hour economy. So in short order, you will hear from them. Yeah.
This oral thing that was handed over to the president, he's asked the AG to do what?
Essentially, oral, as I announced in the statement that set them up, was to gather information. Because in the immediate after, in fact, even before the elections, we were inundated with claims of wrongdoing by various people. But there was no center to which those claims could be sent. It was obvious that the government of the day was simply not interested in fighting corruption or doing anything about it for that matter. They clearly were not in a position to address the problem. So people felt that the NDC was the alternative. And so right after the election, President Mahama himself was inundated and overwhelmed with complaints and people making allegations and accusations. So he says, look, let me set up a system that we can use to receive these complaints, process it somewhat, so that when we take over power, we are then able to hand it over to the appropriate quarters to look into. So over 2,400 complaints were received. Over 1,400 phone calls came in. Over 900 emails were sent containing all manner of information. Out of these, 230 of them were thoroughly reviewed and found to have some basis and substance.
Okay.
So the report of that was presented to the president today, who then immediately handed it over to the Attorney General to look into. And I can assure you, Bernard, that in the next few days, very major action is going to be taken on some of those cases. Some of the cases are so straightforward. The evidence is so compelling that one needs to act on it very quickly.
So what is the objective? To recover the money or to punish the supposed thieves?
The Attorney General made comments at the event today. And he says he has a dual approach.
Okay.
The emphasis is on recovery. So if you can recover whatever has been stolen, that will be the first priority. And then after recovery, or even before that, there are those whose crimes are serious enough to warrant prosecution, and he will go all out to ensure that that is done. But ultimately, it's to send a signal that you cannot act with impunity once you take public office. You cannot abuse office to enrich yourself and think that you can get away with it because there's been some laxity.
But all that is happening with the Attorney General dropping charges against all previously accused.
Yes, Bernard,
sit?
Let me point out that in the coming days, this week, the Attorney General has indicated that he will hold a press conference to account for the reasoning that went into that particular action. Bernard, I have always said, for instance, that what justification existed for prosecuting Obusuampofo and leaving the people I describe as state-sponsored terrorists who engaged in that mayhem at Westwogon. So there's a by-election. The MPP puts men who are masked carrying heavy weapons to attack NDC supporters who were just helping with the party's mobilization towards the elections. There's a commission of inquiry which identifies specific wrongdoers and prescribes sanctions for them. The government of the day refuses. Rather, it goes for the chairman of the opposition party, who it accuses of convening a meeting to discuss a response to the attack that the NDC members support. This clearly was a travesty of justice. It was clearly trumped up charges. I followed the Atuforsin case closely. Bernard, there's no doubt that case was instituted to silence him as as ranking member of finance when the e-levy debate came up. The appeals court threw it out, and I don't know whether you've read the reason given for that ruling. Sound judgment. But Attorney General decided that he needed to pursue it because the elections were coming. He needed to further silence Honorable Atuforsin, and there are a whole host of cases like that. So the Attorney General says that he has studied those dockets and come to the conclusion that there was no merit in them, and that continuing them would only amount to a waste of time. In any event, Nolly Prosecutor is one of the tools available to the Attorney General. In fact, many people do not know that in the Atuforsin case, the second accused, who used to be the chief director of the health ministry, benefited from a Nolly Prosecutor from the Attorney General himself, Godfrey Dami, at the time. So if Godfrey Dami on his own, the one who took the cases to court, is minded to issue Nolly Prosecutors at some point, why can the succeeding Attorney General not do the same if he studies the brief and comes to the conclusion?
So is it your view that a lot of those cases were political?
They were politically motivated.
There's Atuforsin, there's Opuni, there's some of the bank store
look
issues.
at the injustice Opuni suffered. The judge who was picked to handle that case was a judge who had publicly expressed partisan support for President Akufo-Addo. You recall at some point, because of age, he had to retire. A new judge was brought in who reviewed the case and said that he needed to start afresh. Within weeks of that judgment, he was transferred to Kumasi, to a place where he had no court to sit. Punitive action was taken against him because he decided to start the case. This clearly was the law being weaponized against political opponents. And it is not in the interest of the people of Ghana that the state sustains cases that have no merit. That will amount to wasting their time and their resources. So the Attorney General takes the view that these cases do not have merit and therefore should not be continued. But he says that, normally reasons are not given from Nolly Prosecutor. Godfrey Dam did not explain why he let the second accused in the Atuforsin go. But this Attorney General says that in the spirit of accountability and transparency, he will engage the public and give reasons for why. I think that is a significant step forward, and I'm sure you in the media will look forward to it. But the caution there is that as a people also, we must guard against allowing our resources to be used for this kind of activity. We must separate that clearly from the need to go after people who are from the... And Bernard, some of the issues that Oral has dealt with are matters that you have dealt with on your show. The evidence is so glaring and for instance, look at this SkyTrain business. $2.8 million is paid, and yet not a single metal was put in place anywhere to construct anywhere.
Apparently for feasibility studies.
How? And so what became of those
Where is
studies?
The special prosecutor and all of this? Is President Mahama going to work with the special prosecutor?
The special prosecutor was appointed on the basis of law. There's enabling legislation that allows his office to exist. That legislation still exists, so he's free to carry out his work. Mind you, he's supposed to be independent. Once cases
I'm asking this because a lot of the cases Oral found have to do with politically exposed persons.
Yes.
And we're told that the SP's remit, what distinguishes him from others was that politically exposed persons involved in corruption, they felt that we needed to have that because the Attorney General is a minister of the government.
Well, let me say.
So how come he hasn't...
Let me say, and here I'm speaking for myself.
Okay.
I have a track record of questioning the relevance of that office since it was...
Personally,
and I need to draw that distinction.
But what's the president's view on the office?
Well, the president thinks that it is a useful tool for fighting corruption. The point is that despite the existence of the office of the special prosecutor, the government has just gone out of power. The Attorney General was still prosecuting politically exposed persons. Indeed, all the cases that have now been thrown out were cases that were being pursued against politically exposed persons. So one then questions the relevance of having another office to do essentially what the Attorney General can do and more. So that's a question for some debate. I have my own views on it. But the president thinks that to the extent that he exists, that is a special prosecutor.
So do you foresee the Attorney General hiving off some of these cases to him?
Well, I see no reason why that cannot happen if the Attorney General deems it necessary.
Or could it be that because this president didn't appoint the special prosecutor, he's not comfortable working with him?
There are people who the president did not appoint into certain positions, but he has retained them. One of them is the NCA Director General, who was appointed by the previous government in a certain capacity, but he's been elevated to become.
But he worked with Dr. Banibwama when he was there as minister.
Yes, but
so he's been there for almost 20 years.
Exactly, but the president has not said that because he didn't belong to his party or he did not appoint him, he will get.
No, but he wasn't appointed by the Akufo-Addo government.
But,
this is different. Because
exactly,
this special
the point I'm making
was
is that,
appointed by.
But the point I'm making is that yes, there are people who were appointed by the previous government who will remain. You understand me? Again, the special prosecutor cannot be dismissed. He has security of tenure that is enshrined in law. The law was passed by Parliament. To the extent that the law exists, there's nothing that you can do about him. So
there's a lot of people in the NDC who do not think that the Electoral Commission chairperson and some of her deputies were fair to your government.
They were not. And I have been a fierce critic of.
So what is the president's view on that?
Bernard, the law is clear. The Electoral Commissioner has security of tenure. You cannot remove her until she turns 70, when she goes for retirement, or you cannot remove her until stated misconduct. As we speak, the president has not been given evidence of stated misconduct. If that happens, he will kickstart the processes that will lead into looking into that complaint and taking the necessary action. But on his own, he's not going to dismiss anybody simply because he did not appoint them. He does not have a history of doing that. Especially in those places where the law regulates how the appointment or removal should be done.
So can we say something for IGP?
Yeah, that one is within the purview of the president. Conventionally, the heads of all the security agencies have changed when there has been a change. I don't think that anybody will raise any qualms about it. I don't know what the president intends to do in that regard. But if it happens, I don't think anybody will be surprised. It will not be against the norm, as it were.
Because the jury is still out there on the IGP. Some people think he was fair to the government. To this, when you
whether he was,
other people
I don't
also
think
believe
that.
No,
I don't
because
think that
there's a view that the governments tend to influence the heads of institutions against the opposition. So when the opposition comes in,
that is yet another weakness. That is yet another weakness in our institutional arrangement that we need to address. There are those who have even argued that don't we even need an independent police commission that does its appointment and insulates them from the presidency. But the point must be made that we cannot make appointments or dismissal based on perceptions that one was fair or unfair to a government. We need to follow the law to the letter. What does the law say? The removal of security chiefs has become a bit of a convention. That people think that, okay, allow the new president to have some control in terms of who he chooses to to head the various agencies. It is something that has happened to all heads of security agencies whenever government has changed. So if that were to happen, you will not be surprised. I don't think the public will be surprised. It's not raising.
So what is the view about Dampare?
Well, I don't have any personal views about him. As I speak, I don't know of evidence of specific wrongdoing against him. He does not need to have done wrong for him to be changed. You understand the point I'm making? So if he is changed, it's not because he's done some wrong. It is just that the president may think that a new direction is needed at the police headquarters, or the direction is needed in the leadership of the police service. That would.
Can we say something for the Chief Justice?
Again, the Chief Justice is not at the beck and call of the president. She's the head, I beg your pardon, of an independent institution.
No, I'm talking about the view towards her. I'm not talking about whether she can be removed.
We have our own views. I have my own views on it. And indeed, Bernard, I'm sure you followed me. I've also been very critical of the judiciary. I don't think that they were fair to the NDC. To be honest, and I don't think they've been fair to the NDC for 32 years.
So even whilst you were in power in the previous...
Yes, I mean, you recall the Rawlings era. The government of the day lost just about every case that went to court. You recall the famous case about June 4th and 31st December, the GBC case, and not the one that J.H. Windsor took to court in terms of whether ministers should be vetted again once they've been appointed ministers previously or not. We lost all those cases. Under the MPP, I would say, I'm a member of the executive, I'm a member of the Parliament, and I have not hidden my dissatisfaction about the way that the judiciary has performed in that country. Look, they were manifestly unfair. It was possible for Afenyo Markins to file a case in court and have it slated to be heard within 12 hours. Yet, the minority has filed a case against the passage of the e-levy, which has been pending for 3 years. By the stroke of a pen...
The minority at the time?
Yes, the minority at the time, I beg your pardon. By the stroke of a pen, Godfrey Dami was able to change a judge sitting on the case. And yet, Opuni tried everything under the sun, and the same judge was maintained. It was possible for a judge who held Kenny Japon in contempt to be changed because it was said that the contempt was committed against him. Yet, the people against whom contempt was supposed to have been done in the Muntie 3 case were sitting on the same case. So the inconsistency, the unfairness, the imbalance is manifest. That is a position that I hold to this day, and I've said this over and over and over again. One of the things that we need to do is that we need to insist that there's fairness, there's balance. Because of historical reasons, I think that there's a certain antipathy towards the NDC. It has a historical basis. But justice ought not to be done on the basis of perception of political parties. Bernard, if what is good for you is done to you, what is good for me should be done to me. Whether you are NDC or MPP, it doesn't matter. There's a reason why the symbol of justice is supposed to have a woman who is blind. So it is color blind. Whether you're NDC or MPP, you deserve the same treatment. I don't think that we can say in this country that the NDC has received the same treatment that the MPP has received. I have been to court. I have seen judges exhibit hostility towards NDC people and show, what do you call it, light-handedness towards NDC people. That must change. But that said, it does not constitute sufficient ground to remove a chief justice unless and until you are able to prove that in the discharge of her duties, she's done something against the law. That is the position of President Mahama.
Wow.
Yes.
So that was quite a large chunk of the interview. We had to bring all of that to put it in context as to how the question came through. It wasn't just a random question. We were actually discussing the oral report and then talking about whether the president was minded to rather send it to the OSP. Yes, and then of course we asked whether the OSP itself as an office, how the NDC saw the OSP, and then we came to the matter of people the president or the NDC would feel because they did not appoint, they would have to remove, which is how come we ended up on the CJ and then also the IGP. So I just wanted to give that context. So it's 8:52, still on the Citi Breakfast Show. I wanted to go back to, so we are doing two things at the same time. We're talking about the insecurity issues in the country, what's happening in Ashanti region, and this, we haven't had a strong response from government yet. So we are waiting for the government's comment on the condemnable actions that took place yesterday at the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council during the voting for the Council of State rep for that region. And we actually sort of asked whether the police's new approach could be because the IGP was not sure of his position. And I think it's a fair question to ask because the answer Mr. Kwachi gave, if you were the IGP listening, you would not be encouraged, would you? Because he said you can be removed if you haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, but there is an antecedent to this. So IGP Patrick Kwating-Echampo, for example, was 57 years old, 3 years to his retirement, when the late Professor Mills asked him to proceed on leave. So he resigned on 28th January 2009 after the political transition. Then IGP John Kudala was directed by Nana Akufo-Addo to resign. So
also in 2017.
Yes, in 2017. Though he had 1 year to retire.
So he hadn't yet reached the retirement age.
Yes. So anytime there's a new government, there is almost always a new IGP. Then you had David Asante Appiah to also come through, all under Akufo-Addo this time and all of that. So there's been conversation about giving our security chiefs, security of tenure, so that no matter the period, whether it's transition period, there's a lacuna, or there's a new government, they are firm, neutral, and professional in their dealings.
I think there was even a case where Imani and Dr. Kwesi took a matter to court to try and prevent what they considered to be the arbitrary removal of service chiefs. Yeah. I am not sure whether that matter has run its full length, but we followed that case initially because we felt an important case which, whatever outcome came through, would be consequential for the way these things are handled going forward. Yeah. All right. So whilst we talk about the lawlessness and possibly and again, why should the tenure of the IGP determine how police do their job? But in Ghana, it's like that's how it works. Yeah. It's like the order. So what is the order from above? Okay, because it's quite extraordinary for the police to just sit down and be watching people misconduct themselves for the past 3 weeks and not do anything.
Police,
And this is captured on camera.
And like we said, it's all linked because a lot of these are due to appointments. So when we are talking about these appointments, we are thinking to ourselves that we've seen people they've gone to the Forestry Commission, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of the places they haven't gone. They've gone to the NSA as well, haven't they? So you can even look on the list of places we are going to discuss, and it's like they are showing up there, and you think to yourself, are they going to show up at every place once there's a new CEO? And that's the problem, really.
And the other question is, are they going spontaneously or somebody mobilizing
Someone
them?
has to mobilize them, because how would they even know that we should go to this place, that they've appointed someone? And that's why.
So maybe insiders are using.
Why are they not going to the other places they are not going to?
Someone said that, was it yesterday?
David Ofosido.
Yes, that he feels like there's people who have issues with themselves in their party.
Yeah.
And it makes perfect sense that's how some of these things happen. So if maybe you know that you have issues with someone, so you're like, hey, this person might send people, so let me bring my people. It's very likely, because how else are these people going to know to come in their numbers to these
mass
places?
up at the exact time that this is about to happen?
They have to have decided there has to have been an issue, or we've seen them come the grassroots, quote unquote. Because the grassroots is a very nebulous thing, because someone can come and say they are speaking for the grassroots. We don't want this person appointed for this reason, and it becomes a whole thing. Someone has to tell these people that, or there has to be an issue with the person that is coming from somewhere. So I feel like a lot of these things.
And the other question it raises is that, so is it like a failure of intelligence? Because what intelligence does is to pick up signals about what people are either planning to do in secret, or what could happen as a result of certain actions. So for example, if you know that a certain announcement could generate a certain reaction, you prepare for it as a security institution. So is it a failure of intelligence, or are the intelligence agencies looking on, acquiescing because they feel like people have to vent? Number two, if it's true that these people are being mobilized by party bigwigs, what are the security institutions doing about this? Because that's incitement, getting people to come and cause confusion at a venue. If you know who's behind it, have you charged them? Do you have evidence that they have been the ones doing it? This is wrong on all levels.
And frankly, at this point, you can argue that the police are letting it happen, because if you see it happen for 1 week, by week 2, you should be aware that if there's an announcement of an appointment, there's likely to be people to go with them to the
but
office.
the truth is that there are so many appointments. So how do you know?
But you get what I'm saying. So you should be thinking to yourself, okay, let's put 5 extra policemen at this office today. Then when the people come, they should have some people on standby.
Backup. You are right.
You get what I'm saying?
There should be some. There should be some.
If it keeps happening like that, you should be seeing there's a pattern.
Okay.
Because we are here, we are not intending. We can see a pattern.
And this is not helped by some of the controversies about appointments. So let's go through these appointment issues again. So for example, apart from the much stated GIPC one, so apparently the DACF, there was an announcement earlier, and then actually there was a report on GTV that Hanabisio had been appointed, and that was denied, and now we have what's his name,
Yamson,
Michael Yamson. Now TOR, there was an announcement of combat, and now we have a different name as the confirmed
Dr.
CEO.
Yusuf Suleimana.
Don't forget, there was also a gentleman who was sent to the National NYA. I think it's called Adongo, and then he had to be reassigned
somewhere else.
Then there's the whole SIC thing, which is more somebody going to court and all of that. We understand today to resolve it. Now, in this past 3 days, we've had people send me notices to say, like, if we don't talk about the VRA issue, if anything happens, then basically they cannot be blamed, because like workers say they don't like the new VRA boss, and they've actually sent me posters. Okay, now we are not saying that every appointment needs to be accepted, but I feel like some of these things have to be dealt with in a much more coordinated way. All right, now as we are speaking, there's a lot of lobbying at ECG, because there was a story last week attributed to Apenyo Marking that the acting MD was now claiming to be NDC.
Making over chess.
Okay. Then there's a story in the news this week that Julius Pepenya is likely to be appointed. Then I'm told no, he's not. No, in fact, some point it's just that nobody has been appointed to replace or to take over from the acting MD, and that all of this is speculative, and that we should wait and see what's going to happen in the space. So I'm not sure if there's something going on here that we need to know or we don't know. There's more information needed here.
But Bernard, forgive my naivety, but why must the ECG boss be appointed by the government? Like,
because
isn't
it's a strategic. Okay, not to hold brief.
Yeah.
This morning, you read a story that said ECG had
underdeclared their revenue
by
5.3 billion cedis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the IMF is meeting the government of Ghana in discussing our economic recovery. The number one item is our energy sector debts.
Yeah.
Now, ECG has been described by various reports as the weakest link in the power value chain. So, if you are a president of a country and ECG is owned by you, are you telling me you will not be interested in who runs it? So, I think for me, that's not even a problem.
Right.
The problem is, there seems to be some, of course, maybe they are consulting. The thing is that the process is not transparent. So you see, this is the whole thing. If there was I see at the district chief executives one, people have applied. So they will say, for DAs, for district chief executive, for the eastern region, 260 people have applied for the 20 positions.
Yes.
They are being vetted by this committee for 3 days. 3 names will be submitted to the Minister for Local Government and the presidency to make a choice. When the person is chosen, the assembly will approve or disapprove. Simple. The problem with this is that this is a very opaque process.
Yes.
So you hear, oh, this person is the head of ECG. Who is he? Is he like, what is this? Yes, we don't know. He was a spokesperson for the party or he was something. So the whole thing is not transparent.
Exactly.
And this is the issue. Now we are in an era where people want to know. 20 years ago, you can just name somebody and everybody will accept it. 2024, nobody's going to do that because now there's social media. Young people are interested in news. The media houses are aggressive for information. People are also using the media to lobby. So if the process is not very clear as to how these appointments are made and names are just being thrown out, and you see, when the names get thrown out, there isn't even an official. So this is what happens. The government sends weekly bulletins after the fact. Yeah. So for example, on Monday, we got a bulletin from the presidency on the new appointments with the 8 names of people who have been appointed. But in the course of the week, we can just see a green letter with Khalisus Mohammed's signature, and they'll just say, Randy Abe goes to Cocoa Board.
Yeah, this is how they said.
You get it. So
Felix has turned into the new Fabrizio. Every day he's dropping.
Yeah. So it's like I feel like there needs to be a much more structured way of announcing. Maybe the government should say, look, all official announcements of CEOs will be made through this channel.
Good. And I have a suggestion about that. We actually have a authority that SIGA is right there. SIGA is right
but
there.
The SIGA guy was appointed the same way.
But you see, my point is, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you thought that if we are too serious about it, and we are saying that we don't want the president appointing more people, the SIGA boss should be running this like everybody, and it should be an open one. Anyone can apply. Okay, we have this job for this and things. This is the application process. This is what we are looking for. We are looking for 15 years of experience in this. You can have equivalence in education. You know how they write.
So you mean SIGA should have been appointed first, or SIGA? The problem is that SIGA is also part of the
SIGA should be. I'm just saying that if we had a more,
so that they would be like the institution overseeing the process,
independent and. Ideally, I'm just giving an ideal situation to fix.
No, I agree with you.
We have a SIGA, not necessarily even SIGA. It could be anything else, but we have an independent body that manages these job applications. They do an interview with their board, and you can even do it by subsectors because there's no just because someone can interview about shipping doesn't mean they can interview about data protection or energy because there's a lot of different types of institutions here. So maybe you have different maybe you have 7-8 boards for each different sector, and those boards do take job applications. You look through the applications and see these people. Okay, this person doesn't have enough experience. This person maybe this person has a corruption scandal, so you don't want to export. They are politically exposed, whatever. You get your job interview. You shortlist maybe 6 people. It's even announced that these are the 6 people who have applied and been shortlisted. Everyone is aware. You do your interviews and you come and give us.
Is that not based on the assumption that everybody wants the best? The truth is that politics is a game of interests. It's not a contest of principles. So whilst I think what you're suggesting is the right thing to do, I don't even think the people around the government will allow that to happen, because as soon as they start doing that, a lot of the lobbyists will be exposed. People are lobbying for people because they want to control their resources.
But you see, even if you do a job interview, you can still get all party people, because are they not competent people who support your party? And you see, and we've spoken about this. Just because someone is talking on radio, like we said, it doesn't mean you should give them a serious job to do. You can have people who are sympathetic to your party. Maybe they are behind the scenes helping you do policy and stuff. And you can say, okay, this person's a good idea of policy. Let them apply. If they meet their qualifications, we'll put them there. Because as long as there's a criteria for what the person should have before they can do their job, I think people will be less.
But don't you think that process may be longer, and that maybe again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Maybe the president in his head believes that Kofi Mensah should be the person who runs Ghana Maritime Authority, because in the course of his campaign, Kofi Mensah was the person who used to write his ideas about the maritime system, and he sort of likes the guy, so he's penciled him down for Maritime Authority. So he just believes that once background checks are done and the guy is clean, he appoints the guy.
But he's going to do that for about 6,000 people.
Exactly. No. He's going to
How
do.
Many?
So okay. So fair enough. There are 178 first.
Yes.
Before their next 300, and then before the next 1,000.
Thank you.
Because think about it.
So we are doing thousands, basically, right?
This is how many people just for CU. Let's just assume CU. This is what. This is
75. We have 175.
This 175, very good. So 175 CUs, right?
Yeah.
Then board another times 5.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Then we have to do every.
Some of them deputy CUs and some of them deputy.
Then hopefully this time without PROs too.
And so that's what I'm saying. If you outsource this to some people, you save him a lot of time. And like we said, focus on God, because this appointment
the reality is that the parties are interested.
Wait. He should outsource it to who?
Exactly.
Because he wants this appointment is going to. This is his government.
Yes.
But
you take responsibility for their performance.
If you take responsibility when you hire incompetent people to want to come back to bite you say, okay, you are going to do interest, and you hire incompetent people. Are you better off? Because so at the end of the day, if you have the best, it benefits you more than anyone.
So what you're saying is that put a system in place.
Yeah, they will shove a system in place
which will also help to stop the confusion.
Yeah.
In terms of the but people will definitely lobby, and people will put names in the media, and because the media is so broad,
of course,
somebody can plant a name,
of course,
and then create a person, and the person has been appointed.
But you see, the lobbying and things for jobs, people go behind and talk to people. That one is part of the job market. But if you are qualified and you are competent, and they give you the job and you do it, even if you got the job too because you know someone, I don't think people will shout if you are not qualified. It's when you are not qualified and they give you the job that people start asking questions.
It's interesting because when you are applying for a job, the kind of rigor and process you go through for private institutions or even for, a friend of mine is applying for a job somewhere. The CV he sent, the details they've asked for, he's going for an interview. If you look at the process and the kind of rigor, tells you that they're trying to find the very best quality human resource for the kind of role that they're going to play.
Fair,
and it's well coordinated too.
Caleb, again, playing devil's advocate here, to be fair, if you look at the appointment of DCEs, that has happened.
Great.
I think that the problem is that the politics around presidential appointment is much more complicated than simply public sector recruitment.
Right.
There are issues, for example, for ministers, there's issues of regional balance that they have to. So you may have to sacrifice competence for regional balance because the constitution wants you to do this. Then you also try and compensate for gender balance and age balance. Now those three are hard enough. Then there's also interests. All right, because you don't know how politics is financed. So if there is no clarity as to how financing comes, if somebody wins an election, there are constituencies he has to satisfy. All right, and those constituencies could be satisfied by giving people close to those constituencies some appointments. Okay, that's why people go to vetting with their chiefs, because maybe in the course of the campaign you came to my hometown and you told my chiefs that they should support you because when they vote for you, you will appoint their MP as a minister of something.
True.
Then it turns out that you made a promise to 10 people, so you didn't give me any post. So now there are 3 posts left. You have to now say, okay, even though I didn't give this chief's person, the minister, let me compensate him by now giving him an SOE. Do you understand? So what I'm saying is that it's
nuanced.
If this is my problem, I can't use Susu's process because Susu's process is suggesting a meritocracy and a clean slate with no problem.
And you see,
but what he is trying to solve, he's trying to balance. I want a competent or fairly competent guy who's not corrupt and who's loyal to me, but who also satisfies some regional balance or something.
You can do that for your cabinet. You can do that for your cabinet. But you see, these things, the reason I'm saying that is that if every time we have a new government, we are going to go through this process.
Yeah.
Right? We are also going to go through, and where's the continuity? If someone is doing a good job, we are just going to remove them because you didn't appoint them. What's the and the reason I'm saying this? I get it. We are doing politics. People have to be outsourced. But at the end of the day, you can't say you are running the country for your party. You were not elected by your party.
But have you even heard speculative stories around some schism between the chairman of the party and the president, where they are saying, and I'm not sure this story has been confirmed, but there's a number of papers that have written a story that said the chairman of the party is not happy with the president because the president is snubbing the chairman's people, quote unquote. You get it? So the question is,
you see, if you're in a meritocracy, you can't even sit down and say that, because you know you can't say the president is the one doing it, because you are saying the people are not appointed. The president is not appointed, and actually, I feel like this creates more problem. I get it that this is how it's done, but I think it creates more problems in the long run. I feel like it really just creates problems. You are not. It doesn't give. I can't think of the practical benefit of rewarding loyalists, because, and that's another thing. If you are saying that these jobs are rewards, what are you telling me about their jobs? It means that you are going there to enjoy. That's what you are telling me.
Let me again come in, and this is purely from the perspective of having worked with politicians in this line of duty. So let me tell you how politicians think. So let's assume Caleb and Susu are both eligible for the management of Accra Digital Center.
Yeah.
Let's assume both of them are supposedly on the right political side. They even now want to look at, so there are two possibilities here. Yeah. So they are both equally qualified, but they prefer a loyalist because they believe that a loyalist has more interest if the thing is failing.
Yeah.
So a loyalist is more committed to the cause. So they will say, for example, if you go and take an outsider who has not shown his face to the party, he may not care if the thing fails.
Yeah.
That's how they do your calculation. They say, this guy, he was, when we're in trouble, he didn't mind us. He didn't do anything to help us. And not even that, he may be competent, but we have competent people who are more loyal.
Yeah.
Because they believe that if a person is loyal, he will
die doing it.
And he will also push for the thing to work, and he will also to keep the things not working.
Yeah.
But if the guy is not committed to the cause,
he'll be nonchalant.
That's what they think. So they, in their view, you are either for us or you are against us. So that's why sometimes they even appoint people like the GRA guy, and people are like, but he's not an NDC guy.
Yeah.
We don't know him. I mean, how can somebody who used to be the country partner for KPMG, you know KPMG?
Yes. How can you tell me
this guy is qualified to work in any company anywhere?
In the world.
People said no, we don't want him because we didn't hear of him join the campaign. You get it? So for them, they've come to take power, and they need to appoint people who are committed to the JM cause. Mm-hmm. But you see, yesterday I listened to something. I'm very happy when the lady who was the appointed of 19-member committee, Valerie Sawyer, said they are thankful to the president for the confidence reposed. The president cannot fail in his job, and they will do their best to succeed for the president and the people of Ghana. You get it? And I like what she said. So it's basically saying, yes, you have your vision, but we are doing this for the people of Ghana. Yeah. That and he says we cannot fail, because if we fail, we are for the people of Ghana. Yeah. I like that mindset. I think we need more of that mindset to say, look, this is about the people of Ghana, not about pushing somebody's parochial political interest. Because in all political parties, there are people who want to control appointments because it serves their interest. I think it should be about the people of Ghana and making our lives better.
Sure.
And I really hope that that is the consideration for these appointments, because we have a lot of names coming up for different appointments, and 2 or 3 days later, this one is not true. The lobbying is still going on. This guy has been changed. We'll read some quick comments when we take a short break. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. So what do you think? Send us your thoughts on some of the controversial U-turns, GIPC being a key example, and a few others that are in limbo. And some of them, the staff say they don't want. Some of them are sending anonymous messages. Bernard, we don't like this guy. If he comes, things will go down. Yeah. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll be right back.
Love brewed in the valley. If you're looking to make this Valentine's Day extra special, Peduasi Valley Resort has the perfect packages for you. Indulge in our delightful dinner buffet with a melodic live band on Valentine's Day and take advantage of our special room and spa packages from 10th to 16th February. Treat yourself and your sweetie to a truly memorable experience this season of love. For enquiries, call 0540-125-555 or 0540-125-554. Peduasi Valley Resort. Live life.
High school sweethearts, baby. You know, even then I knew it just.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Protect yourself from germs and bacteria with confidence. Cleanse hand soap effectively kills 99.9% of germs with every use. Perfect for all your hand washing moments throughout the day. Available in a variety of variants and delightful flavors. Choose Cleanse for yourself, your family, and friends. Make Cleanse your daily essential. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Ghana Post.
Ghana Post, the most affordable delivery option for food and merchandise from Ghana to everywhere in the world. Connect with us today and see for yourself. Ghana Post, smart, secure deliveries.
Mensaka me package no. In less than 5 days, Ghana Post, they make life they be. Ghana Post will deliver to you wherever you are in the world.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
To this rhythm after seeing all what's going in Africa.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Nigerians under pressure, Africans under pressure. No food, we belly, no money, in our pocket, no bed, till we hate. The people, they must suffer, in a ghetto, in a city, everywhere. That me go, me see them, some are cry, some are die,
The City Breakfast
some
Show.
are weeping,
Rise
some
above
are
the
wailing.
noise.
Everywhere, down we go, under pressure we will, under pressure, everybody under pressure,
In the meantime, there's a lot of organizations that we still don't know if there is a CEO. So I'm going to run through some of the lists. Charlie, there's a lot of organizations. So I mean,
well, let me ask you if you know of the so there is Ghana Water Company.
There's somebody there. I think it's Wuta Wakil.
Yeah, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
Yes. Give me a minute. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority.
Yes.
The person's name is Brigadier General Paul Seydou Tanya Kulono. So I think that's the name.
Yeah, that's taken care of. There is Minerals Income and Investment Fund that even has a deputy. That's taken care
the
of.
lady who used to work at Zenith Bank.
Yes.
And the number 2 is Asidun Ketier's son.
That's right. Ghana Exim Bank.
Sylvester Mensah.
That's taken care of. Then Ghana Publishing Company.
I don't know.
Ghana Post Company Limited.
I don't know.
Ghana Airports Company Limited.
No.
Electricity Company of Ghana.
Strong speculation that Bwedia Sama will not be maintained. A name was put out this morning. I'm being told that it's not yet confirmed, so we just have to wait. We don't know.
Then Ghana Cocoa Board.
Randy Abe.
Yeah, Ghana Reinsurance Company.
I think the name was mentioned, but I don't remember.
Ghana Tourism Development Company Limited.
That's Professor Kobe Mensah.
Yes. Then there is Gihok Distilleries. I know Max Ojimo is gone.
Yeah, I think they just sacked someone.
Yeah.
Gihok Distilleries, I haven't heard of.
I think the person was just asked to leave.
Yeah.
Anyway, so MIF is Justina Nelson.
Justina, yes, that's the name.
Gihok Distilleries, I don't know.
Yeah, Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund.
I saw a name for Development Bank, but I haven't seen a name for Ghana Infrastructure Investment Bank. But I stand to be corrected because I don't have all the information. So listeners, if you know if the name has put out, let me know.
Please
But
let us know,
for
yes.
GIF, I haven't heard.
But Tema Oil Refinery, that has been taken
No, let's
care of.
clarify Tema Oil Refinery. So Tema Oil Refinery, David Combat is now the deputy.
Edmond Combat, yes.
Edmond
he's
Combat, the deputy
managing director, and then Dr. Yusuf Suleimana is the managing director.
Who is Dr. Yusuf Suleimana?
That's on Citi Newsroom.
I've seen his picture somewhere before. Dr. Yusuf, I've seen his photo.
Yes. He's on citynewsroom.com. His appointment was.
What's his background?
He's an energy consultant.
Yes. City News has been speaking to him.
Yes.
On energy or finance or something.
Yeah. He's an energy consultant, Dr. Suleiman.
Where was it? Because I remember the business desk have been interviewing him.
That's correct.
Because I've seen his image on our website a few times.
So this is how he looks like.
I remember. He's been interviewed by our team. I don't know whether he used to work for one of the energy agencies or think tanks or
so
something.
it says Tema Oil Refinery Limited has announced the appointment of Dr. Yusuf Suleimana as its new managing director. Dr. Suleimana is an experienced engineer and energy analyst, and he brings a wealth of expertise to the role, positioning TOR for sustained growth and innovation. With a strong background in energy sector, he's expected to leverage his extensive industry knowledge to enhance TOR.
Did they mention his
background?
Like where he used to work? Anyway.
No, there isn't that. There isn't
Let's
any
move
of
on.
that.
So TOR has a new MD.
Yes, National Food Buffer Store Company Limited.
Not that I know of.
New Times Corporation.
Not that I know of.
Precious Minerals Marketing Company.
Sami Jemfi.
State Housing Company. State Housing. I think I saw a name.
The name came up, but I don't remember the name. The name came up.
I just want to say something. Another thing is when you go on some of these websites, they are so poorly maintained that even if you want to get the information that you deserve as a citizen. That who is running these things? It's not them.
And you'll be shocked that they have a whole PR team of people who are paid salaries.
So
I wonder what they do.
And
there.
they are supposed to release reports every year. You go, the last reports from 2017 or something.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
It's
actually.
terrible.
No, but some of the websites have not even updated the new appointments.
That's the point. Like, how can you give me the 2017 or 2018? It's just.
Meanwhile, these people have a PR unit or communications unit with people who are fully paid.
Yeah.
Which other one were you asking?
So I'm told, though, just point of information, Dr. Yusuf Sulemana was the CEO of Eureka Energy Solutions, and that is an energy think tank.
Yes, because the business desk have been speaking to him. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So the food and buffer stock we don't know yet. New Times Corporation.
I don't have that information.
Yeah. PS Tema Shipyard.
PSC Tema Shipyard.
PSC Tema
I don't
Shipyard.
have that.
Electronic Waste Fund.
I don't have it.
Ghana Amalgamated Trust PLC.
That is a key one. I haven't heard the name yet. I'm looking out for that. Indeed, Ghana Amalgamated Trust, and then the GIF.
Yes.
And then the Ghana Infrastructure Fund.
Yeah.
And the MIF. They are very important. And I just hope, and the DBG. They are all related. So, and then of course GIADEC.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see who the
I think I've seen an appointment for the GIADEC, right?
Yes, but the name doesn't ring a bell. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
Who else do you have there?
So there is Ghana Trade Fair Company Limited.
I don't have that in name.
Ghana Post Company Limited.
You mentioned that already. I don't have that.
Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited.
No, I don't.
Ghana Grid Company, Grid Co.
Again, I'm told they did an appointment. You know, some of these organizations don't like media noise. So sometimes when the appointment is made to avoid controversy, you don't really hear.
Yeah.
But somebody said to me last week that VRA and Gridco had both had some people put in acting position.
Okay.
So, but I don't have the name possibly.
Social Investment Fund.
No.
Haven't heard. National Home Ownership Fund. Haven't heard.
So I'm told Georg is Jones Apple.
Okay.
Georg is Jones Apple.
Jones Apple.
Yeah, the name came up last week.
Right.
Yeah, so add that to your list. He used to be with the Small Arms Commission.
Right. Oh yeah. That's correct. That's correct. I remember now.
Yeah.
Graphic Communications Group Limited.
No, I don't have that.
Irrigation Company of the Upper Region.
No.
Kumasi City Market.
No.
State Housing, I've mentioned this already. TDC.
No.
Venture Capital Trust Fund.
I think the name came.
Okay.
It just has escaped me.
Right.
The Venture Capital. Yes, I
Trust Fund.
I think again. I stand to be corrected here. Forgive me.
ESLA PLC.
Yes, ESLA.
ESLA PLC.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, Social Investment Fund is Abbas Nuruddin.
Social Investment Fund. So that's out.
Social Investment Fund is Abbas Nuruddin.
Okay.
So that name is there.
Is Get Fund out? Ghana Education Trust Fund. Do you have a new building?
It's not on the list I have here.
Yeah.
It's not on the list I have here.
Airtel Tigo Ghana Limited.
No, I don't know.
Accra Digital also.
No, I don't
haven't heard. Bost is out?
Bost is I know Afeti Awuno.
Yes, that's correct. Ghana Commodity Exchange Limited.
I haven't heard of any announcement.
Yeah. Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company Limited.
I haven't heard that.
There's plenty.
Plenty.
Ghana Railway Company.
No.
Reinsurance Supply Company.
No.
GNPA Limited.
Procurement Agency.
Yes.
No.
State Housing.
State Housing Company.
Yeah.
Looking through my list, I don't see State Housing Company.
Yeah. So Ghana Maritime Authority.
That's Dr. Kamal Dean Ali.
And Ghana Shippers Authority, Professor Jampo.
Transfer Jampo.
Ghana Standards Authority.
Oh, that's a key one. I don't know why I don't have. I have EPA.
Okay.
Which
yes,
is Professor Brown.
Yes.
Now I have another one that is updated for you. Get Fund.
Get Fund is in.
Get Fund is in.
Okay.
Get Fund is called Paul AJ.
Okay.
Paul AJ.
AJ
Thank
for
you
Get
for that.
Fund.
Get
Right.
Fund.
Forestry Commission has been done.
Forestry Commission.
You know, there was one. All the papers captured the story. They said the staff had welcomed him. They were happy with him.
I'm looking for the name though, because
Yeah.
on the list I have
Yeah.
here, I don't have the Forestry Commission name. But you keep going through. We'll get it. Forestry Commission. Just give me a minute. I'm scanning through. Forestry Commission.
Bank of Ghana has been taken care of.
Dr. Johnson Esiama.
Cyber Security Authority.
I don't have that name.
Data Protection Commission.
No, I don't have that name.
DVLA is done.
DVLA is
Julius Nikwe.
Yes. And then I think also Road Safety Commission is Ibrahim Amaliba.
Yeah. Energy Commission.
That's a very important one. I don't have an announcement of a name.
And there is Fisheries Commission as well.
No.
Food and Drugs Authority.
Very important appointment. I don't have a name for that yet.
Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Gaming Commission is Emmanuel Sisi Kwenu.
Okay. And then there is Free Zones Authority, Ghana Free Zones Authority.
Oh, how did I escape? How did this escape me? Free zones. Business desk, please send me free zones if there is a new name.
Yeah, but GEPA is out. Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
GEPA is Francis Kojo Kwating Arthur.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, Francis Arthur.
Yeah.
Kwating, they call him Kwating.
Right. Minerals Commission.
No, Minerals Commission has not been announced yet. Now I have another one. Railway Company is Dr. Frederick Apo.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that even when I look at the bulletin from the presidency on appointments,
you don't get
some of these names don't come up.
All, yeah.
Railway Company, Dr. Frederick Apo is what I'm told.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Okay, Mortuaries and Funeral Facilities Agency.
I don't know. I'm not even sure. I'm sure that's the one they leave at the bottom for the ones who don't have any other one. I don't know. Mortuaries and what?
Oh, Funeral Facilities Agency. Very important.
Why does government even have such a thing?
Very important agency.
It's the one thing that everybody is going to need. So
yeah, but do you need a government agency for that?
I mean, I think we sometimes have to be a bit more open about some of these things. We'll die one day.
I know, but do you need a government? Whatever. Let's go.
It needs to be managed properly.
Any other one?
National Communications Authority, big one.
That's Edmond Irenchi Fianco.
Yes, and Dr. Hugh Brown is the Forestry Commission.
Dr. Hugh Brown, okay.
Yes, National Insurance Commission.
That is a big post, but the question is, will the person be a reformer? Because when I talk to insurance people, they said they need somebody there who will move things, because the Insurance Commission needs to be strong to drive insurance uptake. I don't know who the name is. I haven't seen.
But National Lottery Authority is out.
There's some
controversy about it.
So he is Mohammed Abdul Salam.
Yes,
Sandra said, "Will you be happy that as a Muslim you are?" He says, "My family is very happy." So when I go and pray, I'll thank God for the post. Dr. Abdullah, yeah.
Yes, Northern Development Authority is here.
We are not even sure if this government will keep. The coastal development, middle belt, nothing. Yes. No, North development is already there.
Yes.
But I don't know the name of the person. No.
So there's the Office of the Administrator of Stool Lands.
I don't have that. Even Lands Commission, I'm not sure if there's a name yet.
Lands Commission, I haven't heard. As far as
because usually, this name you mentioned, Stool Lands and Lands Commission, they're all in the same area. So maybe their appointments will be made at the same time. I don't know.
But National Youth Authority that we know of.
Who's the person?
Malik Basintale.
No, Malik Basintale is the Youth Employment Agency.
So that's why. So NYA must be where the controversy.
No, I saw that. I saw them. They've hired someone.
There's a different.
NYA is.
It was even in the news. He was even in the news yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Osman Ayariga is working with Malik at Ye.
Yes.
But National Youth Authority.
The guy was even in the news for something. I can't remember what it was. He was even in the news yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's just
I'll get it.
There's a lot going on.
Your list is not comprehensive.
Yeah. So I'm told Energy Commission is Mrs. Eunice Brechum. Reverend Engineer Oscar Amono Neza has been replaced.
Okay.
Right. Thank you for
that.
Thank
you for that information.
Yeah. Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC.
We don't know if Doc has been replaced. We don't know. Good one. So Office of the Stool Land is the person called Dr. Gad Aquensivier.
Okay, this one we didn't hear.
I like the name Gad.
Yeah.
Do you know who Gad is?
Oh, but that was Ruby Simon.
Yeah, one of So Gad Aquensivier. That's a nice name.
Gad is Jacobson.
Yeah. Wonderful name. So that's Office of the. So thank you, Tony, for this one. God. So I hope you are updating your list in the newsroom, gentlemen. So there's a lot of appointments we have missed.
Yeah.
Anymore?
There's Tree Crop Development Authority.
Oh my God.
And National. This one is scheme. Yeah, National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEIP.
I think that one, the name has, the person has been announced. We just don't have it on my list yet.
Community Water and Sanitation Agency.
Those ones, they don't like making noise. Even if they're appointed, they won't tell us.
Now, the Ghana Highway Authority, what's going to happen there?
So yesterday in Parliament, they said that they would...
Because the National Road Authority
the minister said they are going to rediscuss it. So we don't know yet. But there's so much more. So let me just go through the one I have here.
Yeah.
SEC James Aveji. GNPC Edward Bauer. Ghana Tourism Authority Mamie Fua Huajato. MPA Eduji Tamaklo.
Yeah.
Ghana Enterprise Agency Margaret Ansei. MPRA Christopher Buedi Mensa. GRA Anthony Sapong. SIC James Ajenim Boateng. And we obviously we need to update our list. So it tells you that there's been some appointments that we have missed.
I wish the releases
so
are more coordinated.
NEIP is Erica J. So what I'll do is that I will update the list, and then I'll give you updates. Finally, so this is the clarity. Osman Ayariga is National Youth Authority.
Okay.
And then Malik Basintale is the Youth Employment Agency. So Osman Ayariga is National Youth Authority. And then Malik is the YEA.
Okay. And I'm learning Engineer Macban is acting at Gridco.
Wonderful. So what we will do is to update the list, and hopefully by Eyewitness News time, we will run through the list of people who have been appointed that we know. Now, let me also say, the Free Zones Board, the name is Dr. Mary Awusi.
Okay.
Dr. Mary Awusi, I remember this story came. So thank you, Neil. This is our business desk now, helping me now. So, this is what happens. And listen, let me explain what happens. So, in our newsroom, people have different portfolios. So, the business desk will be more interested in the business people.
Yes.
The political desk will be interested in political people. And then the sports people too are interested in their own people. Yeah. And then we, the all play all too, we're interested in all play all. So, let me give you a few names I have here. Okay, so SIGA is Dr. Michael Pesa-White.
Yes.
Atusapong is MD of ADB.
Yes.
James Aveji Kluche is SEC. GIPC, as I said, is now changed to what do you call it? Simon Maji. I think we have the full list. Kojo Chumbuafu is Financial Intelligence Center. Financial Intelligence Center, Kojo Chumbuafu. And Dr. Seidu Zakaria, MD of National Investment Bank. And then Raymond Archer is deputy for Iyoko. And then, as I said, Gad Akwensivie, administrator of Stool Lands.
Yeah.
So we will give the full list by evening.
Sure.
We'll give of what has been confirmed by the government, so that we can also track this. So thank you, gentlemen. I'm taking another breather.
Yeah.
I wanted you to read some quick comments before we take the breather.
Okay. So imagine the irony if people standing elections that will make them advisors to the president believe the best course of action to resolve a misunderstanding is to hire macho men to destroy the electoral process.
Can you imagine?
Then what proper advice can they really offer the president? Charlie, this country is some way.
I advise him to use macho men.
Really, from Charlie. But my simple question to the president is what was witnessed in Kumasi yesterday part of the reset agenda? Okay, we the people from Oyarifa Center, Bernard, the police actually checked out during the elections. EC officials were held in the throat to declare election results. The NDC's incessant threats to the police has disarmed them completely. AJ from Sunyani. Bernard, good morning. This politics is all over the world. You pick people that are loyal to you and you believe are qualified. Every leader needs to appoint people he can trust. Asking for interviews is far-reaching. It's not realistic in any part of the world. It's not just a Ghana thing. Good discussion, but let us ask, if all that we are seeing NDC and JM do against the party and its members' interests, will Ghanaians keep the NDC in power for long? Francis from Accra.
Okay. When we come back, friends from AUCC rather, will be joining us for a quick chat. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Love brewed in the valley. If you're looking to make this Valentine's Day extra special, Peduasi Valley Resort has the perfect packages for you. Indulge in our delightful dinner buffet with a melodic live band on Valentine's Day and take advantage of our special room and spa packages from 10th to 16th February. Treat yourself and your sweetie to a truly memorable experience this season of love. For enquiries, call 0540 125 555 or 0540 125 554. Peduasi Valley Resort. Live life.
High school sweethearts, baby. You know, even then I knew it just.
Are you ready for the road trip of a lifetime? All is set to explore 14 amazing regions of Ghana on the Heritage Caravan 2025. Dive deep into the rich Ghanaian culture through the food, the music, the history, and the captivating traditions. From the 2nd to the 9th of March 2025, you will experience the road trip of a lifetime. Build connections, network, and share unforgettable memories with fellow adventurers.
An opportunity to see Ghana in a more beautiful, and the people, the connection, incredible.
The Heritage Caravan will smoothly drive through the Greater Accra region, Eastern, Volta, Oti, Northeast, Upper East, Northern, Savannah, Bono, Bono East, Ahafo, Ashanti, Western North, Western, and Central regions.
The places we visited, the road trip itself was awesome.
Everything was good, yes. Even the Bui Dam was very educational.
Throughout the 8 days on the road, groove to authentic live band music on the wheels with the melodic In Chin Chin Band. The Heritage Caravan 2025 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay updated. Follow all Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM social media handles for updates and join the conversation with the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2025. The Heritage Caravan 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, Holland Insurance, Omni Basic Bank, Goyle PLC, GB Foods, Standard Water, Apollonia City, and Beaver Beverages. Terms and conditions apply.
First impressions matter. Make yours unforgettable with the irresistible scent of Princess Body Mist and Roll-On. Designed for every lady who wants to leave a lasting impression wherever she goes. And for our gentlemen, there is Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Elevate your presence with a confident, masculine fragrance that keeps you dry and fresh all day. Because your fragrance should speak before you do, use Princess Body Mist and Roll-On and Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Your daily essentials for smelling good from dawn till dusk. Princess and Style Up. Smell good and feel great together. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So it's 9:43. Let's talk to friends from the Africa University of Communication and Business. So we used to call them AUCC, Communications and Business. So I have in studio Professor Abeku Blankson. Prof, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Thank you.
I also have Dr. Mrs. Juliana Osuansa, Registrar. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Prof is the Vice Chancellor, and then Doc is the Registrar. We also have Nana S. Echampong, who's the Creative Arts Director.
Yes,
welcome to the show.
I do rather.
You look like a creative person, even the way you look. Welcome. So who will tell me about the history of AUCB?
Okay.
Who's going to do that?
Don't mind doing that.
Okay, go ahead.
We used to be, thank you so much, Ben.
Yeah.
We used to be AUCC.
Okay.
And this AUCC is African University College of Communication.
College of Communication.
Of Communication. This university started. Initially, it was an African Institute of Journalism and Communication. That was 2002.
Okay.
It was established by the Honorable Kojo Yanka. who used to be a Minister of State.
Yes.
And then it gained accreditation in 2004 to award degrees. So initially the AIJC was awarding certificates, basically.
Yes.
And so in 2004 it gained accreditation by the National Accreditation Board to award diplomas. In 2010, this institution was just evolving gradually. So it started a business school. And this business school, interestingly, was supported financially and socially by Sir Sam E. Jonan.
Okay.
And then as it continued until 2024, 19th December 2024, the then president, that was the former president, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, gave us this presidential charter. Amongst others, about 13 other universities, so at least 14 universities were awarded.
Wow.
So it became AUCB. So
Come of
AUCB
age.
African University of Communications
and Business. African University of Communications and Business.
We are launching this tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
God willing.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Ben.
So AUCB is less than 3 months old in terms of in its full glory. What does the charter of your school mean as an institution? When they say you've been given a charter, what does it mean?
All right, let me take a shot at that one.
Yeah.
The charter really is giving us first, it recognizes that we are of age. We have been on the mentorship or affiliation for since 2002, so 23 years. So last year, the government mandated that all private universities must be on the path towards getting charter. It was approved by Parliament, the Ghana Education Act. So we took out on that challenge, and on December 19th of last year, we were successful in that.
Okay.
We went through a very rigorous assessment processes, and, and presentations here and there, led by Ghana Tertiary Education Council.
Okay.
And so they recommended to the Ministry of Education at the time that we have fulfilled all the requirements to obtain our charter. So we got it from the then president in December 2024.
So you're a full-fledged university.
Fully fledged.
Standing on your own.
Standing on
you
our
don't need to
own.
hide behind anybody's degree.
We've paid our dues.
Thank you.
So now we're on our own to offer our own degrees, programs, and all of that.
Let's talk about the activity lineup for the launch. So you're launching tomorrow.
Yes.
What's going to happen tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll start with the official launch at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Where we have our partners, everybody really, and that we've been dealing with, to come and then recognize the importance of what we're doing and to announce to the world that we are AUCB and then tell the world what we're doing. This actually goes back to where this government took over. That's 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
One of the main things you mentioned, I remember in your inaugural thing, was that we're going to get charter. And there was an 8-point. I know I'm directing about, but so it's like we're fulfilling everything in there. And so once tomorrow we start at 10 o'clock, we'll be discussing more about the way forward for that, not just celebrating charter, And then of course after that we have an exhibition that will tell us about where we come from and where we're going, and then that leads the way for tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, Thursday, which is when all the alums and everybody comes together to pay homage.
Homecoming.
Yeah, it's homecoming. And then we also say Akwaba to the new, fresh students. And then the alums, actually, they're doing some exciting things. They're going to recognize those of themselves that are doing exceptionally well. And then work out. There's a new committee. I think, no, it's not committee. Governance, alum governance. They're going to launch it, and then they're going to give awards. And I think the school too is going to award some of the persons that have been important in the course of the.
So it's a busy week.
It's busy
with a lot of things happening. Starting tomorrow till the weekend.
Till the Sunday for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, Sunday. Let me just add quickly that on Friday there will be a street activation. That's the float. So
we're inviting you to
really announce, so
float.
be visible. Yes, and then Sunday, of course, we have to give Glory to God. So we'll be joining the Evangel Assemblies of God Church right
next door.
Yes,
they are your neighbors.
Yes.
I hope they are good neighbors.
Thanks to the Lord. So basically, that's
it's funny. In fact, there are times we come for programs at Evangel. We have to park next to AUCB or AUCC. All right. So you guys started as a media training thing. So what are some of your footprints in the media? Do you have any things to say about how long have you been? 20 years? 22 years? 23 years. In terms of the people you've trained and your footprints in the media, or the effects of having AUCB and how it's affected the media growth in the country.
I'm sure you can bear witness to that from your institution. So there's no media house in Ghana that has not been positively impacted by AUCB's training. And it shows clearly anytime we have all these awards from the journalism organizations, the top 5, 6 are almost always from AUCB. You know, and I can mention names, but I'll be doing the service to those persons who are also in other forms of media, strategic communication, development communication, and business. You know, the school has impacted a lot of the individuals who come, but it's got discover yourself from here. So they come with raw talents, and then we mold them into very productive.
Let's talk about admissions, Doc. You are the registrar. So how would you describe the admission drive of AUCB?
Well, I think for the admission drive, Nana has already mentioned some of this, and particularly our logo speaks for itself. And then we have Discover Yourself from Here. So when we go out there, we tell people, it doesn't matter how you look, how you feel about yourself, whatever is in you, come over. We have qualified lecturers and supporting staff to help develop your knowledge, your skills, and everything. So we go everywhere to tell people about this, to help them grow, shape them, their talents and everything. So once they come in, we also at all times help them to identify themselves. What is in you? What can you do for yourself? And what do you think? Once you open up, these lecturers are able to educate you. So for the admission drive, these are our key points. We go out there to do that, and particularly with communications, and not just that, but the business. So we try as much as possible to let people know about what we do, our core values, critical thinking as much as possible, the ethics in you. We talk about integrity, African values. We put all these things in them then to be innovative. So once we go out there and we reach out to the prospective applicants with us, they run to AUCB. Okay.
Who are some of the dignitaries expected at the event from tomorrow?
We did mention Manager Champo mentioned that we are looking forward to see most of our mentor institutions, particularly the vice chancellors or the registrars represented. We are also inviting Ghana Tertiary Education Commission Director General. We are bringing on board, in fact, from here we are going to visit Sir Jonah. So if he's in town, definitely he will show up. Yes, he will show up. Our sister institute, private institutions, those around us, and then those who have all been invited to join us. Again, we our founder, Honorable Kojo Yanka, will be present. Our board of directors, these are our shareholders. They are going to be present, as well as our council members.
Wonderful. Finally, what do you seek to achieve with this celebration, and any final thoughts for listeners?
Yes, I think we have a lot of goals that we've set. And mainly, the celebration is to, of course, build the awareness of AUCB within our national and local environment, as well as internationally. One of the things that we realize that we are not very well known. So we want to use this opportunity to really. And then secondly, we also want to highlight not only our achievements, but the programs that we have, especially the contemporary ones that we have developed, mostly aligning what we do currently with the needs of industry and society, looking especially to leverage on technology. So now we are looking at infusing AI, for example, in some of the courses and the programs that we do, digitalization, as one, data analytics and data science. So we want to combine these into our programs. And so we want to highlight that to the world to know that, look, we are moving into the contemporary world, and so join us. And so those are some of the things that we want, of course, our achievements. I mean, getting a presidential charter is not easy. It is something that we cannot just take for granted. So we need to let the public know about that.
So a lot of us know you for communications programs. So talk to me about some business programs that are on offer, and also what levels are you an undergraduate university? Do you do postgraduate programs yet? Is it modular? Can people stay on campus? Just talk a bit about what is on offer at AUCB.
We do offer both undergraduate and graduate, postgraduate certificates, degree programs. Yes, both in the communication field and the business.
Wonderful.
In the business, it's the relatively newer addition that we added, like the register said earlier. But we focus on account and finance. We focus on marketing, human resource management, supply chain,
the full band,
the full project, project management, all of them, both at the undergraduate and graduate levels. Then, of course, the communication, we also look at all the length and breadth of all the communication discipline. What is unique about ours is the African values that we infuse in our programs. So you can't pass through AUCC without feeling you are an African and appreciating your Africanness. So those are some of the things that we're seeking to do. We do also have, we are reviving the creative arts industry in Ghana. And that is under the leadership of Mr. Nana Achampon here, because we strongly believe that we need to take that mantle up and then lead that discussion. So we've started. So we've established a strong Department of Creative Arts. And
with focus on film, especially, and writing.
Film and writing.
So you are
some kind of NAFTI kind of thing, right?
Actually, it's NAFTI 2.0.
NAFTI 2.0.
2.0. Actually, the former boss of NAFTI is the dean of the
of communication.
So it's creative art.
And Ben, let me quickly add that with this new path, we want to introduce PhD programs very soon.
Wonderful.
PhD programs for you and everybody.
What calendar do you work with? People, is it September admissions? Do you do January? Do you do rolling admissions?
We do both.
You do both?
We do rolling admissions as well. And then we also do online programs.
So if somebody listening wants to enroll for any program, what do they do? Is there a website? Do they just come to the school? How do they get about it?
You can come to the school if you're around, but we also have our website, which is now it's aucb.edu.gh.
aucb.edu.gh.
All the information is there.
How flexible are you for people who are working?
You see, one of our advantage is our location, because we are in the heart of the city. So we are surrounded by the ministries and all those established.
So you do a lot of evening classes.
We do a lot of evening and weekend.
Oh wow! So for people who are busy working, they can actually do programs.
It's there for them.
It's actually becoming more like a weekend school, because weekend and
it's
we
busy on the weekends.
Yes, we accommodate so perfectly.
And registrars spoke about the online courses. I think that's even more flexible for those of us who are professionals out there.
Also, you have online courses too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We do the hybrid as well.
So people can come to the campus to inquire or go online to inquire. So you receive SSS, you receive A level, you receive IB and all those things.
Yes.
And what are mature students? Do you have
lots of them.
Yes. You have a program for mature.
You have a mature admission.
We have the entrance examination. Once you take your exam, you pass.
Okay.
You can also enroll.
How good are your fees? How they are not
very very
flexible payments, plans. And
actually, we are one of the, I wouldn't say lowest, but getting to the bottom of the fees in terms of the amount.
We are very reasonable.
In Ghana, very reasonable, extremely reasonable. And we have also a very flexible payment plan that the finance department will work with any student.
So they can you come up with the payment plan without paying everything from the beginning.
Yes, if you can't pay, we'll sit you down and say, okay, let's work something out with
I like that.
And students take advantage of that. So
monthly payments, you can do all that. Weekly payments.
Congratulations on AUCC. It started at AIJ. I think it was AIJC.
AIJC.
Now it's AUCB.
Yes.
With a full charter, and the program begins tomorrow. We've been speaking to Nana Champong, Creative Arts Director, AUCB, Dr. Mrs. Juliana Owusu Ansa, a long lost friend who has reappeared, Registrar of the University, and Professor Abeku Blankson. I feel like playing Abeku from what's the name of the guy? Yes, play Abeku for him. The big man, you know. But that song is for Abeku Kwanzaa.
Yes. But Abeku is a good Abeku. I'm not a bad one.
In the meantime, if you're looking for litigation-free land, contact Royal Kingdom Estate. We specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. Properties in prime areas like Accra and Ebri, land starting at 90K. We offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2-bedroom and premium furnished apartments for short rentals at East Airport. And the 90K is actually Ghana cedis. For more information, call 055-755-5909 or visit us at Cantonment opposite Soul Clinic International, Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. Time for City News at 10. Ejubi Wiafe Akingting. Ejubi. You know, I had a lecturer at Legon, and I used